Good evening and welcome to the game of the week. This is part two at the Regency Athletic Complex Center at Metro State University. That was Troy Rank from Channel 7 News. Of course, does a lot of the Broncos reporting. Also, you see Troy doing a lot on 104.3 The Fan here in Denver. So we are honored to have him throwing out the first pitch this evening. Tonight it is game two. We saw a very competitive game starting at 3:30. And it was the Texas team out of League City defeating the Tucson, Arizona Wildcats, and it was literally a wild ball game. Final on that was 11-9, and League City, making their first appearance here, will now extend their play tomorrow. And Arizona, who was here for the last 2 years in the finals, last year against San Mateo, and then, of course, against Hawaii 2 years ago in 2015, now heads back to Tucson. Tonight we have another very, very competitive ball game. This probably will be one of the tighter ball games that we've seen here in the tournament. You will see some very good pitching. You will see some very good execution and, more importantly, some good hitting. Tonight it is St. George, Utah, who has done very well. They are undefeated, and it's going to be Henderson, Nevada, that they are taking on. We're going to give you the starting lineup. St. George is 2-0, as well as Henderson, Nevada. So we were just informed by the stadium announcer that we're under a lightning delay. So we're not sure exactly how long this will take. We'll just kind of do some fill-in here for you here on the webcast. So at the Regency Athletic Complex, this has been going on for several days, as you can well imagine. Tomorrow we have 2 games slated. That will be at 3 and 7. Potentially the championship game will be Sunday at noon, and if needed, the game will be at 3:30. As they say, good pitching beats good hitting. We talked a lot about that in the 3:30 game, but you take a look at how that all works, and really it's been quite the opposite. We have seen good hitting beating good pitching, and actually that was the case with Arizona. In fact, at one point, League City came back. It was in the 6th inning. They were down 6-3. And at that point, you saw a barrage of hits in that particular inning, and they put up 7 runs and took the lead 11-10. And for good measure, they added another one. And, of course, they had a home run, and also Arizona had 2 home runs in the ball game, but just their pitching just wasn't quite enough for the bats of League City. So League City now at 2-1, making their first appearance here. And tonight you have 2 undefeated teams beating each other up potentially, and most likely we will see both teams, because you have to be defeated twice before you head home. We've had 3 teams that have been eliminated already. The 2 Colorado teams and New Mexico have already started to head back, as well as Arizona now heading to the airport. So we did see over the last few days a barrage of great play. We'll start off with big plays, seeing a lot of double plays that were performed by Chico State. Chico State doing a terrific job when they played, oddly enough, League City, Texas, defeating them in Game 1. And really the rally killer for them was going back with the double plays. There were at least 6 double plays at key times that made the difference for Chico State. On the fireworks side, we've seen in the last couple of days a number of home runs. We saw 3 of them in the last game going over the fence. And, of course, we saw some very good pitching performances. Now you say, okay, good hitting defeats good pitching. That's a little bit different than normally. But in this case, when we say good pitching, that means a pitcher that has really a low or a very non-existent memory, because there have been some very good battles where you would see a pitcher, especially for League City, where they would go ahead and get touched up for a home run, but then finish up the game by coming back and challenging batters with balls right over the plate with fastballs, sliders, and curveballs to really finish the race and finish the game under a barrage of hits. So really it's a game of attrition and really a game of mental toughness when we say good pitching. Of course, we expected to see a lot of good hitting because a lot of these teams, they don't get here if they're not able to hit the ball. And we know a lot of teams, their leadoff three usually average over 400 and sometimes 500 to get to the top three and top four in the lineup. As we saw in Arizona, really there was no player, including Castillo, who really was batting in the eighth lineup. He was the first one to send one out to put Arizona ahead, and it looked like they were going to run away with this. But again, keep in mind, it was League City who showed the mental toughness, who showed the cool, and with timely hits and, again, good fielding and Osborne coming in the last three innings to close the door and finish the deal. So we are under a lightning delay. We expect this to be about 30 minutes, so we should be getting underway here around 7:30. Keep in mind, we got a couple of games tomorrow. We alluded to that earlier. 3 and 7 o'clock. They will be very competitive. Both of these teams tonight will be here, as well as League City. We'll give you, if you go to the website, which is www.calb.org, you can find out more as far as the brackets. And also, you will find out more in regards to what's coming up not only tomorrow, but on Wednesday. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the Director of Baseball Operations, Wally Weld. And I promise you, Wally, this time, you won't be Darth Vader. We've got you covered this time, and we have everything working. And Wally, he's a little bit slow sometimes. He's the guy yesterday when throwing out the first pitch, went 97 miles an hour. Pretty impressive there.
I iced my arm all night. I'm feeling pretty fine right now, Mike.
So, Wally, really just a terrific game that we saw, and we were kind of expecting to see more of this type of game. We saw some games where teams lost,
right?
30-5, 28-5. But this was a very tight ball game and really going down to the last 2 and 3 innings.
Well, and I think it's a testament to pitching. Gosh, I don't know who said it, but you can never have enough pitching, right? The Colorado team did everything they could to get here and ended up spending some arms and not being able to finish like they could here. Obviously, we want to protect these kids' arms, particularly if they have a chance at a college scholarship or, even the show. That would be nice. But so if you can put together a team that's got 7, 8, 10 pitchers that can play other positions, you're driving the bus.
Sounds like Hawaii, doesn't it, a couple years ago?
It does. Yeah, absolutely does.
You think about that lineup 2 years ago, and half that team went to not only college, but some of them in Division I. And a lot, I would say their starting 5 or 6 all played as soon as they were done. They're running to center field, getting behind the plate, playing in the infield, really never got a rest.
Correct.
But again, they were just so talented that how could you not put them in the lineup?
Yeah, they were exciting to watch, and it didn't matter the size of the player. They had big kids throwing, big kids catching, and medium and the lessers were throwing. Their arm speed was amazing.
Arm speed and then the ability to drop curveballs and sliders. And, Arizona was a little surprised. You saw guys like Moraga and Castillo who, and even Romo, who we saw yesterday. But really, those two were really kind of the cream of the crop, and they got touched up hard today by League City. I was very impressed with League City today.
Yes, they did. Arizona, we thought they'd hold on a little longer, but, the pitching doesn't hold out, and, it's a long day when you hit that wall.
Oh, man. And again, I was very impressed with some of the hitting. We saw Castillo, who really, we saw him a couple years ago, was usually in the top 3, top 4. They put him in number 8. And he's the guy sending the first fly ball or home run out, and they scored, 3 runs in that inning.
Right.
So that tells you when you've moved from, say, cleanup hitter to 8th and you're still hitting the ball out, the talent of the hitters in this tournament. There are no slouch teams.
Well, and that's discipline. He was hitting the ball where it was pitched.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to pull it, trying to do anything fancy with it. He just went with it, and bat speed got it out of the yard.
Yep. Tournament-wise, this is the first time we've done it here at Regency. And we saw it in Boulder the last couple of years at Scott Carpenter, very good facility as well. How are you feeling about what's going on so far?
Oh, it's been great. Obviously the field here is top notch. I think I mentioned last night that this rivals just about any college field.
Yeah.
volume of fans accepted. It's not a, it's not an LSU or anything like that. But as far as the confines inside the fence, beautiful.
I
stuff.
gotta do hats off too. We had Stephanie Weber, who was involved as far as the decorations. And when you come in here, this is really festive looking. She did a terrific job at designing, the accoutrements, if you will. I just looked that up, by the way.
Accoutrements.
Yeah, you like that?
I don't think I've ever heard that word before.
I just looked it up, so bear with me.
Is that legal here in Colorado?
Well, some things are. I'm not sure if. Yeah, exactly.
No, Stephanie Weber. She's an awesome lady. She's the team mom of the Inglewood Pirate Elite. Very similar to the team that won the Sportsmanship Award here tonight.
Yes. Yeah.
This time last year, the kids had seen their first year of baseball ever.
Wow.
And to watch them play, to watch them develop, to watch them get a first win was pretty exciting.
Pretty fun. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Now, I got to ask you, we didn't talk as much that I'd like to talk about, so I'm glad you're here, about the sacrifice of veterans, not only in the field, but what they've done to keep this going. I mean, I've seen several. We talked about it. Nick and a few other folks that have been here. They've been here since, at times, starting at 7:30, and they stay all day. These are guys that have served our country, and tirelessly they'll stay here all day and keep this thing going. And they're not doing the fancy jobs. These are the guys, hauling water and hauling ice and stuff. And these are our heroes that have been protecting us.
You bet. Stuffing goodie bags for the kids.
Yeah.
I don't know if you met Wayne.
I did. Oh, yeah.
I won't use his last name because he wouldn't want me to, but he's going in the hospital for surgery tomorro. And he was here. He was here yesterday, the day before, working, stuffing bags, helping us. If something needs done, all you have to do is ask these guys, and they jump.
And, no complaining.
Not at all.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, Wayne even helped us with color guards and, jumped on it fast. He's so efficient and, again, really humble.
A bottle of water, a handshake, and a thank you, and they're pretty happy.
That's it,
You bet.
So, again, we'll talk about what American Legion does. We have not had a chance to really talk about the other things that American Legion does in the community and nationwide. And maybe you can help me with that history lesson outside of the baseball field.
Sure, absolutely. Americanism is huge. We have a Boys and Girls State where we actually take kids and we create a country.
Yeah.
And a president, a vice president, a government. We teach them how to put that in place. And hopefully we are crafting our future leaders to do those kinds of things. It's a monumental task when you're making decisions for a country that not controls the world but influences the world greatly.
A lot.
We're the place everybody wants to come to and be.
That is so true. I mean, we won't get into politics, but there are a lot of people, and you and I have worked at the airport before, who can't wait, and they're so happy to be here, and they'll take any job and, push luggage, do whatever it is, but they are happy to be here and again, away from a lot of struggle in other countries, and here they're safe and they can provide for their families.
You bet. Where else would you want to be but the United States? I'm gonna talk about a gentleman we met last night.
Do it.
His first name is Kevin. I won't mention his last name.
Yep.
Hopefully he'll show up here.
We're hoping
one of these days. But we walked in our Legion garb, and he told us he was with the 22nd Chemical Division overseas in Germany with the Army, and we were at the proverbial late night spot having breakfast.
Yep.
And I said to him, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
And he said, "I'm going to school."
Yep.
And he's going to school at Metro, where we're sitting right now.
Which I find that kind of ironic. Yeah.
It was a match made in heaven last night, and he started telling us his Army career, his history, and a couple of buddies of his in the Army said Denver's the place to be. So he packed up and came here. He's working his way through school. I don't think I'm giving it away when I say he's going to get a radiology certificate, and he wants to help people.
Well, and, it's interesting when you talk to folks like Kevin, and, I want to start off, he was very articulate. The way he did it and the way he crafted it was entertaining. I mean, he could have done a floor show for us. That's the way I was feeling. But yet you keep in mind, and I'm going to take it in a different direction. Here's a very smart man who's traveled. He's seen things like Picasso, things, art on the wall, and, involved with people like that. But yet you see him serving at a local restaurant and remaking himself.
In order to get his degree, to move on with life,
Yeah.
he said he wasn't a spring chicken.
Right?
He was looking for something where he could help people.
Yep.
And, he was working when he was 8 or 9, 10 years old, just like we were.
Yep.
So pretty exciting.
Very impressive, and that tells you people that have served America on the armed forces still continuing to serve in so many different ways. Now, we're going to take it into some other scenarios related. I want to finish this part out with American Legion. Other things they do, they help single parents. They have different kinds of programs for communication and presentation. Tell us about some of those things.
Absolutely. We have a program where we will provide a business suit for an interview.
There you go.
To help these guys get jobs.
Yep.
We have a program of hyperbaric oxygen therapy where we team up with there's actually a clinic up in Longmont.
Yep.
And with as little as 41-hour treatments, the traumatic brain injury, the PTSD,
yep.
They don't talk cure, but they talk about back into society, able to function and function well.
Yep.
Go to school, get degrees. So, the super saturated scenario with hyperbaric, you hear about it in the sports teams when a guy gets an injury, he hops in there. That's nice.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what's pretty awesome is you meet with a gentleman who has PTSD. Mm-hmm. He's sitting across the table from you. He's got his hat pulled down. He says maybe 5 words to you the whole interview, and 40 sessions later, he's a lot like Kevin was last night.
Yeah.
He's very articulate.
Yep.
He wants to go to school. He's found himself. Everything from that kind of a science scenario to, like I said, a suit for a guy to get an interview.
And, we're hoping the best for Kevin, and I'm hoping he shows up. I know he was talking about bringing some more veterans to come hang out tomorrow. It would be Sunday. And I'm hoping that, he does that. And obviously, I hope he kind of gets involved with us in the community, in some of the things we do.
You bet.
I think he'd be a real asset. Now, we're going to take it back into this realm here. Many hours going into getting this thing together, right?
Well, absolutely. And just a little inside information. This is a tournament that's being put on by we commissioners.
Right.
The region consists of Arizona, California, Colorado, New Mexico, Nevada, Utah, and Texas.
Yep.
And Texas we weren't sure we were going to have Texas or Hawaii.
Right.
So I can't say Texas, but nobody else volunteered to put on this tournament. So the commissioners were sitting around one night after a meeting. We had visited the scenario up in Boulder for the last 2 years and
right.
started talking about how we might be able to do this. And here we are today. We made the bid. We are raising money in all kinds of ways to pay for this. It's not a...
You bring up a good point. This is a nonprofit. Yeah, American Legion is nonprofit. So,
correct.
People, if you're listening and hopefully seeing a little bit of picture here as we're waiting for the storm to pass. We had that yesterday, of course. But, donations are very much needed to promote Americanism and really to help mentor some of these kids and really help them to remember the lessons. I remember back at the banquet here just a few short nights ago, and some of the ceremony, very moving in regards to the MIAs and just reminding why they're allowed to come out and play baseball in a very free and fun atmosphere.
You bet. You pass the hat at the post. I'm a member of Post 1 here in Denver. And the guys, the gals, they don't even ask what it's for.
Yeah.
They know it's going to go to something good. They know it's going to be positive. We pay for all of the players to be flown here, as does every region. So there's a region in every section of the country. The winner of that region gets a plane fare and a hotel fare and meal money in Shelby. So
wow, can't beat that.
It's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to make that happen. And it's all done not just by the veteran, but we seek help from companies.
Yeah.
We have some investments over the years. They haven't fared well lately like everybody else's. But,
Sure.
But it's a process that that we wouldn't have any other way.
Totally agree. So, future, I mean, this is the first time it's been here at Regional, or I should say, Regency Athletic Complex Center.
Right.
People treated us very well here, very workable, and we'll be here next year. And I think really the growth of this tournament is going to get huge. I just think as people learn more about this, I think it's great to promote American Legion baseball, which has been around since 1925, and hopefully will continue for many, many, many years to come.
Absolutely. This tournament is up for bid. They offer it to everybody in the region. There's been some talk of trying to find a permanent place for it.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have the complex here. Whether we get the okay from the,
from national,
from the big guys.
Yep.
That's up to them.
Yep.
We are the easternmost part of the region, but if these guys at National are listening to me right now, I'm going to tell them it's a cheap flight into DIA.
Yeah, and an easy way to get here too. Yeah.
The people love coming here. This complex here is pretty interesting. As we sit right now, we're looking at light rail.
Yep.
In the outfield, we have light rail behind us. On occasion, you can hear the big trains go by. This is truly a metropolitan setting, and lots of things to do in Denver, the mountains. Come here, stay a while. But when you're here to play baseball, the kids are playing baseball. Pretty exciting.
And you bring up a good point. They're not going out and messing around. And this is a place that you could go have a lot of fun, in positive fun. I mean, right now I'm looking outside the window as we're waiting for things to change, and you're seeing a beautiful skyline, just like our T-shirt that we're selling, by the way, good price, little commercial there. But the Denver skyline and all the fun things to do musically, food-wise, culture-wise, when you go down on 16th Street. And I've heard so many comments from people that have not been here before, Texas being one of them, and they're saying, wow, this is such a nice setting, so visual. And they've really enjoyed every moment of just being here. It's a nice getaway and a good vacation for some of the parents that come following their kids.
Absolutely. We are no longer the cow town we used to be, that's for sure.
You've seen it grow up here, right?
Yep, I was born and raised here.
Yeah, so I mean,
years.
you know it very well. So as we progress in this tournament, now we'll get into the teams as we're still waiting for Lightning to pass. And we're doing some pretty good filler. You know that, don't you?
I'm liking this.
Are they going to pay us extra for this one? Extra cup of coffee, that's all.
Maybe a hot dog, yeah.
I'll take it. That's a good deal. I like it. But the next couple of days, what do you expect to see as far as competition, tournament play? I mean, we know what's coming. We've got really, 3 games left after tonight?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What are you expecting to see? I mean, you're an umpire, and you've been around baseball for a lot of time. What do you think? What's coming?
Well, this is the exciting part right here. We've got these two teams here. These two teams here right now could be the champion. They absolutely could.
That's what I was thinking, too.
You bet.
I mean, these are the undefeated teams. So I'm going to ask you on the bracket, what if one loses tonight or they don't, or do they have another day?
No, it's a double elimination.
Right.
They come back, play again. And the interesting part is on Sunday, the team that has the one loss plays the team that hasn't lost.
Okay.
If they beat them, then we go one more. The proverbial
3:30.
if game.
Yep, that's right. So that would be a 3:30 game. And we know that's going to be at noon for potentially the championship game. So, I've been throwing this out since we started this webcast. You always say good pitching beats good hitting. But I've kind of seen it the opposite way. I mean, I saw balls flying out on knee-high fastballs on the outside corner, and they're pushing it over the fence.
Well, this is baseball. They say on any given Sunday, and in the NFL, well, that's true, but baseball, they play 160 games a year, and it could be on any given day. This field is an interesting field. Balls get through fairly quick. Balls get away from the catcher. They bounce. They hop. They do funny things.
You bring up I was an old catcher, very old, as they say, but one of the things that the adjustment that we've seen after that first day, I mean, we saw, literally balls hitting the outfield, and you see an outfielder come racing in, and it bounces right over their head. So you've seen some adjustments. The catchers, of course, good pitching keeps the ball down, and you're going to have balls in the turf in this case, but adjusting very well. Today, I didn't see any pass balls.
Well, the term "a ball in the dirt" does not apply here.
No.
Anywhere. It's interesting. The batter's box, the catcher's box, the mound. It's all turf. You can see the ground up rubber that they use in spots, and a kid will slide and there'll be a little rooster tail behind him. That's kind of cool to watch.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, it's brown AstroTurf. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you look at it on camera when we're webcasting this, initially you're looking at the player and you're not really focusing on the turf, if you will. So you might be fooled initially thinking, okay, this is just obviously soil, but it's not. It's not crushed brick as we've seen in other stadiums. But again, it's really fun to watch this. And the nice thing when it rains, it's easy to dry it off, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, this is the field we use in Colorado when we need a field.
Yeah.
High school finals, a college game that can't go somewhere else, we'll bring them here.
Yeah.
This is I think it's $28 million complex with the girls softball field behind us, a lacrosse and the soccer field.
Yeah.
And all the
tennis courts. Yeah.
10 tennis courts. In fact, the tennis courts give a little interesting scenario down right field there.
Yeah.
They take up a little more than the average baseball player would like, but that's what you do. You play the field you got. Kind of like the old days when you had a twist or a turn or a jut or a dip or something. That's a little bit here, but it's a beautiful complex, and I'd love to make this the permanent site if we could make that happen.
And I think it should. I mean, we can't say, of course, but I would agree with you. I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about the banquet, about the surroundings and everything. Parents are happy. I mean, they're having fun. We've had a number of calls and requests from not only Texas but California saying, hey, we're watching this. This is great. We're enjoying this, and that we enjoy bringing this to them because not everybody, grandmas and grandpas, can't make it out, or just family members. Maybe they're overseas. You never know. But they get a chance to watch this, and thank you guys for allowing us to come in here and bring it to them.
Well, I was going to turn the tables real quick here and say that you and Warren have stepped up and made this a scenario that doesn't happen a lot, and you have the mind of a legionnaire. You guys give and give and give till it hurts. I mean, how late was it last night that we finally laid our head on the pillow?
I think it was probably 1:30 or 2.
Yeah.
And I mean, feeding us with food and coffee always helps. I mean, we'll always work cheap, so keep it up.
The game's over. It's 10:30, and everybody goes home, but that doesn't mean your day's done.
Oh, no, it's too much fun to just sit. I know, like last night and the last couple of nights, the evenings are beautiful here. And so we just like sitting around, talking about the game, watching a little bit of what we just finished, and kind of reliving some of the good moments, some of the great plays. So we see the players starting to head back, so I think we're getting close here. We're probably, about 5 or 10 minutes away from getting back into this?
It's got to be close. I wasn't on the timer, but I was.
I'm watching.
You're the man.
Yes, sir. Yep.
I'd like to do a shout-out to our scorekeeper and our announcers. These guys are doing a great job. They get absolutely no credit. We got to start. They love the sport. They played the sport.
I'm going to do a shout-out to this guy, and I'm going to talk to him here in a minute.
He's got the voice, doesn't he?
I'm telling you, his name is TJ Frasco, ladies and gentlemen. Girls, you're going to like this guy if you meet him. He's 22 years old. I'm trying to set you up there, buddy, okay? And I won't charge you. Don't worry, I won't bill you, okay?
I think he's actually more handsome than me, which is pretty amazing.
that is rare, right? But TJ's got, I want to say, that Colorado Rockies kind of voice. And you're going to hear about this guy in the future. We'll talk to him here in a moment. But as we're waiting here, as the players are coming out, they'll have to warm up. Another kudos, and then we'll let TJ come in. I watch things very closely, and one of the things that I thought has been done very well is the umpiring.
We've done a great job.
We've had some great umpires, and I watched the way they're calling the corners. And, man, I mean, it just makes the game so much fun. I mean, in different leagues and in different areas, of course, it's not quite as good. I mean, there's decent umpires in Colorado, but I got to say, they've done a terrific job here in this tournament.
Well, these gentlemen here, I know 3 or 4 of them personally.
Yeah.
They are highly qualified D1, D2 college umpires. The other gentlemen I've met, I've seen them work here, and they belong here. They absolutely belong here.
Do we want to mention any names or just go silent on that?
Well, let's see.
You're the boss.
I'm gonna do it by memory and see if I get them all.
Okay. Go for it. Yeah.
The crew chief is Darren Duncan.
Okay. Yep.
He's from Northern Colorado. He's the boss.
Nice guy.
He sets the schedule.
Yeah.
And what they usually do is they usually start with the tournament championship game.
There you go.
He puts the guy that he wants there, and then they work backwards.
Oh, is that how it works?
That's what they do, yeah. And then he usually works the very first plate. So however it works backwards, he bumps that guy out and jumps in and does the plate.
Okay.
Mike Wagner.
Great guy.
A good friend of mine, a good umpire.
Good guy.
A good man, arguably one of the better umpires in the state of Colorado.
I was going to say that too, and very creative. We won't say the name of his business, but we know he's got a very good shirt business, and he can take care of teams in the area. So I'm going to do a little shout out for Mike and his group, but great guy.
Well, and he's also on our commission.
Yeah.
So not only is he just an umpire this week, and we miss him at the commission.
Yeah.
We could sure use his help and expertise, but he has been released from the commission and doing his job as an umpire as it should be. The last thing you need to do is worry about anything else when you're umpiring a tournament like this.
Very good. Yeah.
James Arnold is a D1 official with us. He's a great guy, good umpire. Those are the two Colorado guys.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah.
Well, Darren's actually from. He works in northern Colorado, Wyoming, sort of a back and forth kind of guy. But I think he's settled up. I think he's actually living in Eaton now. So.
Oh, baseball country.
Baseball heaven.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. There's a lot of history there, but
you bet.
A great tournament, and we can see the guys, getting ready to come back in. Wally, again, we know some great baseball. If you are listening or watching what we have on the screen right now, we encourage you, some big games coming tomorrow. They start at 3 o'clock, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So, again, if you want to see some...
Well, actually, you have 3. They start at noon. Noon, 3:30, and 7.
I thought there were 2 tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. I've got 3 and 7. Today was noon, 3 and...
You're right. I'm a day late and $1 short.
That's okay. You're allowed. You're running.
It's those hot dogs and hamburgers I've been eating for the last week.
Well, you've been running this thing, and you've been running around a lot, too, so that's okay. You're allowed this time. But, yeah, 3 and 7 tomorrow, noon on Sunday, potentially a 3:30 on Sunday, if they say an if game. So, well, Wally, thanks for hanging out with me and kind of informing us on what's going on, the direction of American Legion. We know nationally American Legion is doing very well. What about 82,000 players playing across the nation every year?
You bet. And I would just like to remind everybody, parents, players, if you've got it, you'll get to where you need to go. You don't have to play a travel team, a club team. American Legion Baseball has bird dogs all over the place.
Well, and I'm going to do a commercial here for American Legion Baseball. 55% of all Major League Baseball players have played American Legion Baseball at one time. That's from 1925 to the present. It has not changed. So it continues to grow. It continues to influence. It continues to mentor. And not only does it develop players that go into the Major League Baseball, but it creates a lot of careers for college coaches, high school coaches, umpires. It does a lot of things.
We're surrounded by those guys right now as we speak.
Yeah.
Everybody here. To be a part of Legion is awesome. And I would just encourage everybody to thank a vet, shake their hand.
Yep.
The door to the post is always open.
Yeah.
Knock on the door. They'll buzz you in. Come in. Tell them you want to talk to a vet. If you've got a son or a daughter that's thinking about one of the service areas as a career, I would highly recommend it. It'll make a man and a woman out of a boy and a girl real quick.
Director of Operations, I'm getting it correct. Baseball Operations, Wally Weld. All right.
You got it.
Thank you for visiting with us and giving us some history, sir. Again, thanks for opening your door. Speaking of being nice to us, he opened the doors for us to go stay at his own house so we wouldn't have to travel in the wee hours of the night and crashing, potentially like some of our friends over here. And thanks again for letting us stay at your house.
Absolutely, anytime. That's how we roll.
Okay, that's Wally Weld. He is the Director of Baseball Operations. And we are just about, I want to say 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away for the start of this evening game. And it looks like, things are clearing up. And the fans are back. We really got just a little bit of moisture, but I think we're going to be fine. And so we're looking at about 10 minutes. So we're going to take a very short break. We're going to try to get another quick interview, give you about 30 seconds. We're going to leave the pictures on, but that doesn't mean that we've gone away. So you're watching a lightning delay here on Radioactive 24/7 Sports. We'll be back shortly. We are in a, shall we say, lightning delay here at the Regency Athletic Complex Center at Metro State University, and we have our stadium announcer, and I had to get him on so that, you hear his voice. We'll start there. And everybody, TJ, that has listened to you, I was walking along. I wanted to take credit, but I thought, no, I can't do that. I had somebody say, wow, was that your voice? I said, nope, not mine. I said, yeah, I know it sounds like the Rockies guy is here. I don't know his name anymore. Now, Alan Roach was around for a long time. But, TJ, again, thanks for coming in and doing this for us. We'll just start off. What do you think so far of this tournament?
Oh, this is just a fantastic tournament. This is, as I was mentioning earlier, this is just kind of a culmination of so many things that these players do well, not just on the baseball side of it, but the character side. The coaches demonstrate that as well. And so, some teams play well, but they're cocky. Other teams not play so well, but maybe they do have the character figured out. These teams just seem to gel together on so many levels and demonstrate everything. So it's fun to watch when it all comes together like that. So
and I've seen, as you have, we've seen a lot of athletic performances over the year in the high school ranks and below that, and even into the college ranks. Because I know you're a stadium announcer here at Metro State University, but I am seeing the coaches under control, and I'm seeing more of an attitude of, if a player makes a mistake, he's not chewing him out or putting him down or making him look foolish. They're working with them and really, I want to say, encouraging them. And that's why we're seeing such good play also out of these players.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like the major leagues of high school, major league talent and major league character. If you can put it that way. So
sure.
It's definitely encouraging, I think, for the parents also to see their kids on teams such as these,
Speaking of that, we'll talk about the code of conduct. We kind of alluded about that, while we're in the break time. Code of conduct, very important here with American Legion. And I'll let you kind of explain what your, observation of the kids having to recite the code of conduct. Obviously, it's a good thing.
Well, it implements some credibility into the players that they can't really use the excuse that they didn't hear it or they don't know the rules. I don't know if anybody knows, but you as a player have to recite that back when it's announced over the PA system. That's a little bit of pressure, but it is credibility, and so that's what you want. I don't think there's a such thing as going over the top when it comes to stuff like that. I think whatever you need to do to have players' mindsets in the right places is the right thing to do. So
I totally agree, and I think it's some lessons that maybe have been forgotten in all sports, just basic, good sportsmanship. I like the fact that they even bring up forgiveness, forgiving people in a short temper, a short fuse. I mean, very important.
Baseball will try those feelings for sure, so
all
you got to
remember
that. Yep.
So talent-wise, we'll talk a little bit about what we've seen here. I mean, in this last game, you didn't get to see that as you were coming in. But, man, we saw 3 home runs. We saw a seesaw battle. I mean, we've seen a lot of this. But at one point, Texas actually scored 7 runs. They did not let the fact that they were down by a lot of runs hold them back. And I think, the exposure to this kind of setting really builds character and mental toughness.
What's really amazing is Arizona, Texas are just a few of the teams. We talk about the character. I think not letting your head get down in that moment is a character builder. And we've seen some teams demonstrate that they are really able to come back from an incredible deficit and work through it. Some of these kids, I don't even know if they know there's a scoreboard out there. They play like there is no end, and it works, So that's what you want. I think that's what the coaches want. That's what the parents want to see. And that's what makes it fun for the broadcasters and the announcers. So
I'll tell you, it's not boring when we're calling these games. I mean, you hear me, and I'm getting all excited and going on here. And, you just see, like this last game, it was one of the better games of the tournament.
Definitely.
And it was really fun. And as I was mentioning to one of the interviewers, that one of the parents that came in after the last game, and there was a point where one of the pitchers starting for Texas got served up a couple of home runs. Then he comes back and he challenges with fastballs on the inside corner, strikes him out, and he goes on to win the ball game. So, again, you're talking about mental toughness, and that's life, too.
It is. It's a training ground for life,
It really is, like any sport. So, well, TJ, one last thing, and then we'll start letting you get into doing what you need to do. Obviously, you have another gig. I mean, besides here at Metro State, you do announcing for other people.
I do. I'm the stadium announcer down in Colorado Springs at Security Service Field for the Sky Sox.
Yeah.
The AAA affiliate to the Brewers, and then on top of that, I do basketball and all manner of sports for the state championships and just about everything. I usually tell people if there's a sporting event in northern Colorado, I'm there. So
Yeah.
I'll just keep it short, but that's. It's fun. I enjoy the atmosphere, and I love being there. So.
And I know you've done play-by-play, too. And I got to say this. You're 22 years old. You act like somebody who's 35 years old. So congratulations. And ladies and gentlemen, you will hear this voice in the future in a pro stadium. I guarantee it. TJ, thanks for visiting with me.
I appreciate it.
You bet.
Thanks so much.
It's fun sitting next to you.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
as well.
All right. It's TJ
Have a good
Frasco. And again, remember that name because you will hear his voice at stadiums, who knows, across America. So we're getting underway here momentarily. You can see warm-up pitches, and we're about ready to start this one. I would say we're about 2 minutes out. I'll just keep this one going. And we'll talk a little bit about the starting lineups here for both teams. It is St. George, Utah coming in at 2-0, and it's going against Henderson, Nevada, also 2-0. So St. George is the quote-unquote away team. You think about it, it's kind of hilarious because both teams are from out of state. But it's going to be Trey Allerid starting off, leading off here for St. George, followed by Jagan Levitt, and then it's Peyton Higgins. On the mound for Henderson, it's Shane Spencer. The lineups in the field for Henderson. In right field, it's John Howard Bobo. Catching is Roger Riley. Ryan Nelson at shortstop. Jack Thomas Wold, first baseman. Next pitch is hit to the second baseman, and quickly there's one out. You will see a lot of very good fielding and very good pitching in this game. At third base to finish out the infield for Henderson, it is Garrett Giles, Jerry Smith in left field. Second baseman is David Huddleston. And in center field, it's Nicholas Thompson. Coming to the plate is Jagan Levitt, followed by Peyton Higgins. There's one down. Count goes even at 1-1. There's one out. We want to thank Troy Rank from Channel 7 News to come on out and throw out the first pitch. Next pitch taken on the inside corner for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. When you watch some of these teams in the development, and these two teams in particular, you look like you're looking at a bunch of college players. They're that good. Next pitch going to be hit to the first baseman. Bobbles it, took his eye off of it, so safely going to first base is Jagan Levitt. Peyton Higgins followed by Nicholas Horsley for Utah. That's probably one of the rare errors that you will see here by Nevada. This is a very good fielding team, maybe a little bit of pregame jitters. But these are well-tested teams, and it shows. First pitch taken inside for a ball, and it's now 1-0. Mike Ray, Warren Ray, Cam Gibson bringing it to you. Radioactive 24/7 Sports. Good to have you along. Friday Night Lights. Next pitch going to be inside. Count goes to 2-0. It will be interesting to see if we see another lights out game as far as run production. There's the throwback. Wow. On the knees was the catcher. Even had me fooled, and I'm an old catcher. Made that one look easy and made it close. 3-0 pitch taken for a strike at the knees, now going to 3-1. You can watch a rebroadcast of this on our Facebook sites, and I'll tell you more about that momentarily. 3-1 pitch taken for a strike, and it now goes to full. So Shane Spencer, clearly a battler, working quickly. Next pitch taken inside, and he walks him. Spencer thought he had that. It almost looked letter high. Nicholas Horsley stepping to the plate, 1 down. Force play at third, potentially looking for a double. So this is the 7 o'clock game here at Regency Athletic Complex. 3 games today, 2 tomorrow, 1 on Sunday, potentially 2. If you want to find out more about the brackets and the scores, you can go to the Colorado American Legion Baseball website. That's www.calbcalb, if you will, .org. Blocked nicely by the catcher, keeping the ball in front of him. Count goes to 1-0. So Shane Spencer maybe being just a little bit tentative, but clearly has a nice live fastball. And keep in mind the loser of this game is not out of the tournament, still has an opportunity to play in the final on Sunday. 1 out. Man on first and second. Spencer's set. There's the pitch. It's waved at for a strike. Knee-high fastball in the inside corner, challenging the batter. So Horsley taking a hefty swing. Count goes to 1-1. So with the cloud cover, it's cooled it off nice here. The temperatures did rise here today after a cool day yesterday. Next pitch whacked down the left field line, foul. Count goes to 1-2. It's been a lot of fun calling these games. I know we've actually had requests. Normally, when we're not in tournament play, we will take requests. We like to get out in the community and do what we do. But again, we want to thank the folks that have stayed in touch with us, and we will continue to serve you here for the next 2 days. 1-2 pitch, runners are going, waved at. There's the throw. It's going to be high, goes into left field, and a run will score. So on the errant throw, 1 run scores, man on second. Nevada in the lead. So check that, it's St. George in the lead. The Blue Sox out of Nevada. Next pitch, it's hit deep. We'll see if that's in play. If it is, it's gone. At the 3:32 mark sign, you could see the left fielder climbing the fence trying to make a shoestring catch. But it was clearly gone. You could tell, and a tip of the helmets. And St. George coming out with fireworks. Two to nothing, St. George. The pitch looked like it was down close to the knees, at least thigh high. But a lot of power and very quick hands, and the ball just sailed out of here. And the air has gotten a little heavy, so that tells you how well hit that was. So it's going to be Weston Sampson stepping up to the plate for St. George. Here's what I thought we would not see a whole lot of fireworks because there's such good pitching, and then all of a sudden St. George lights it up and it's a 2-0 ball game. You never know in tournament play who is going to do what, whether it's a great play, it's a good pitch, or sending one out of here quickly, even on a heavy air night. So the crowd's being treated to some very good baseball here today. There is 2 outs. Keep in mind, it's now turned into a 3-0. They changed the scoreboard. I thought so, but we want to make sure it's official that we get it right. So St. George on top here in the top half of the first inning, 3-0. First pitch taken inside. to Horsley, and it's now 1-0. Next pitch moves it, adjusts it, moves it over a couple of inches, and the count goes to 1-1. Knocked down by the catcher. Not that there was any reason to worry about anybody advancing. Count goes to 2-1. So Weston Sampson with 2 outs looks at a 2-1 pitch, takes it inside and high, goes to 3-1. It's going to be a 2 bouncer to the shortstop, comes up firing, and he gets the outs. But again, fireworks early here at the Regency Athletic Complex Center. It's 3-0 St. George. We'll be right back. Bottom half of the first inning, it is a 3-0 ball game. St. George jumping out with the shot going over the 332 mark. So now it's St. George's turn to see how they can pitch around a very good lineup from Henderson, Nevada. So starting it off, it's going to be John Howard Bobo, Roger Riley, and Ryan Nelson. On the mound for St. George, it's Jagan Levitt. Levitt delivers a strike down at the knees, and the count is 0-2. Next pitch is going to be a little bit wide. You know, generally pitchers like to waste after 2 straight strikes. That one was not even a teaser. It was just too wide. Next pitch going to be in the dirt, or shall we say in the turf. Count goes to 2-2. Really a whole lot different feel when you're playing on this turf. This pitch fouled away. Count goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes. I would imagine the first day or so it really is an adjustment. Coming from different states where really they're used to playing on grass, a lot of grass. Colorado, next pitch is hammered up the middle. It's going to be a base hit. So Roger Riley, who's doing the catching this evening for Henderson, will step to the plate. In the field for St. George, Trey Allerud playing second. Jagan Levitt, of course, pitching on the mound. Peyton Higgins center field. First baseman Nicholas Horsley. Alex Flamentakis is the shortstop. Weston Sampson at third. Behind the plate, Reich Erickson. Left fielders Landon Levine and Michael Lacey in right field. Another base hit, so very quickly answering back is Nevada. 2 men on, nobody out. So Ryan Nelson stepping to the plate. Golden opportunity to get something back here soon. Base hit with all the speed on the pads, should score a run. There's the bunt. Going to just go foul down the left field line. He'll start all over again. We saw a very nice drag bunt, the first one that we've seen in the whole tournament by Texas earlier, which started a rally and really produced 3 men on. And of course, the fireworks began in that 7-run punch in the 6th inning. So there's 1 strike on the foul ball. Nobody out, 2 men on. Hits him in the helmet, and really just a slight ricochet, so he'll take first. So Jack Thomas Wald in the cleanup spot, the first baseman. Going to step to the plate. Opportunity here. You think about it, a single or a double, at least a single, you got 2 runs in. Infield looking, playing up, trying to get the force at home, go for the double play. First pitch a little bit wide, being careful. Understandably, you've got a good hitter here. Jagan Levitz delivers the ball, and it's 1-0. Beautiful evening. Very quickly, Colorado weather changes so fast. It's going to be a 1 bouncer to the first baseman, goes to the catcher, and he throws him out. Nice call by Mike Wagner behind the plate, and it's a double play. So very good execution by St. George, prevents the run and gets 2 out. So Jesse Fontoboa, if I'm saying it correctly, stepping to the plate. 2 men on second and third. A great double play. Pitch knocked down by the catcher. Count goes to 1-0. But clearly you look at the level of this game, and it does look like a college level game as far as the quality of play. Next pitch going to be inside for a ball, and it quickly goes to 2-0. As you know, last year it was San Mateo that took our tournament here in Colorado, in Boulder. And we know for a fact there were several 19-year-olds that have had first year of college experience. Next pitch going to be hit to right field. That's going to go up the gap. 1 run, 2 runs will score. And tripping on first base as he went around, could have been a double. Fortunately, there was no error, but just tripped trying to make the cut, and he's going to stay at first. So Garrett Giles going to step to the plate, 2 out single, produces a couple of runs after a very good double play by St. George, thinking maybe they could get out of this. But live bats produces 2 runs. It's a 1-run ball game. First pitch taken for a strike on the inside corner. It's now 0-1. Moon starting to smile at us here in center field. 2 outs, 2 runs are in. Levitt delivers. Hit down the right field line. That should twist foul. It does. Count goes to 0-2. Don't go away on this one. This should be a very entertaining game. We know we will see both of these teams tomorrow. It just depends upon where in the lineup that they sit in regards to the competition. 0-2 pitch. There's a curveball missing outside. 1-2. So the execution level really turned up to a 10 here. And we're starting to see a lot of very good bat control, very selective hitting. 0-2 pitch going to be knocked down by the catcher, keeping it in front of him. Runner does not advance. Very quick. We were talking about that new hybrid type of catcher. And you look what's behind the plate for St. George, meaning Reich Erickson. I want to say he's probably about 5'8" or 5'9". Looks more like a converted second baseman. 1-2 pitch, fouled, and it's going down the right field line, chasing over. And it's basically a loud strike. Count still remains 1-2. But very quickly shifting the weights for St. George and keeping that ball in front of him. And you can see why the evolution of catchers, including Erickson being one of them, has happened, because you obviously have very good fielding ability. He really could play second base or shortstop if needed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, man on first. 2 runs are in. Next pitch fouled away. Count still remains 2-2. This could be one of those games with such good bat control that the pitch counts may be up like we've seen in the last couple of days. Batters really trying to wear out the pitchers early, getting that pitch count up early. Starting pitchers last night going over 100 pitches, up in the 115 range. Two-two delivery, fouled away again. It would be interesting to compare some numbers here between this game and foul balls compared to maybe a couple of the other games to see who's the league leaders, if you will, in this tournament. 3-2 ball game. We're just in the first inning. This pitch is going to be a little bit high, takes it full. So clearly Levitt is being careful here. He does not want to give up another run. Doesn't want this to be a tie ball game. These guys are well too schooled and well too patient in their hitting. There goes the runner. It's going to be a high chopper to the third baseman. Should have a play. Making an easy play on the run. Making it very, very easy. So after one of the books, fireworks here at the Regency Athletic Complex Center. It's a 3-2 ball game. St. George on top. We'll be right back. Top half of the second inning, a very good start to this ball game for both teams. You know, you saw the velocity and the execution of the pitchers, and we thought this is going to be an interesting game. Next pitch is hit up the middle, shortstop ranging over, fires and gets the first out. So really the key here for both pitchers is to really settle down and be deliberate. Both pitchers really trying to work quick, and maybe that's working against them. So there's one down. For St. George, it's Landon Levine, followed by Michael Lacey. 8 and 9 spots. Spencer delivers, hits the outside corner, painting the black, and it's now 0-1. Mike Ray, Warren Ray, and Cam Gibson bringing it to you. Good to have you along. Region A tournament. Next pitch is waved at, and it's 0-2. Radioactive 24/7 Sports. Glad to be here. We were here 2 years ago in Boulder doing the tournament. Next pitch going to be a high chopper to the second baseman. There's the flip and the second out. So Michael Lacey stepping to the plate, taking a strike on the outside corner. As we mentioned with Wally Weld has been doing umpiring for a number of years, and next pitch going to be hit up the middle. You can see the speed. There's the throw, and makes a beautiful play to get him by a step. So it's 1-2-3, and St. George goes down on some good pitching and mainly some good fielding. So after 1.5 in the books, 3-2, St. George on top. Bottom half of the second inning, 3-2 ball game. First pitch is cued foul. And it's Jerry Smith, followed by David Huddleston and Nicholas Thompson. Next pitch is reached. It's going to be drawn in. You can see the snow cone catch for the first down. Nice play by the left fielder for St. George. So Landon Levine in left field. Highlight reel makes a nice catch. There's one down. Pulls back on the bunt attempt. Ball is inside, and it should be 1-0. So we just found out from one of the local coaches here at Metro State University, some of the talented players, the shortstop for St. George, meaning Flementakis, is already signed to go to CSI College. And the shortstop for Henderson, Neveda, Ryan Nelson, is set to go to Oregon to play for the Ducks in baseball. Bunt attempt, and he bunts his way on. Levet did not get the handle on it, and way too much speed, so there is a bunt single. So Thompson going to step to the plate. Thompson in center field. One out, one man on. Nevada looking to try to get something going here. This pitch hammered, whacked to base hit. very good fundamental hitting, going where the ball is pitched and getting the base hit. So Howard Bobo stepping to the plate, followed by Roger Riley. So there's 2 men on, 1 out. Another opportunity here for Henderson to get some more tallies on the board. This could be a pretty high-scoring event. We'll see. This pitch knocked down nicely by the catcher, preventing any advancement of the runners. There's that hybrid catching once again. Next pitch is popped up. It's going to go out of play. Count goes to 0-1. So Nevada with 5 hits and 2 runs. And it's St. George with the 3 spot in the first inning with 1 hit and 3 runs. 2 errors already for Henderson. 0-1 pitch on the way. There's the bunt. Nicely laid down. Going to first base. Gets the out. Runners advance to second and third. There's 2 outs. Roger Riley going to step to the plate. Second in the lineup, followed by Ryan Nelson. We'll give you some updates as far as the talent on the field for Utah. First pitch taken for a strike, outside corner, goes to 0-1. We just found out that the shortstop for Utah is going to Dixie State. One of the coaches up there, one of our friends, Patrick Perry there, might have even scouted him. Next pitch going to be outside and wide. Also the catcher for Utah going to CSI. So we're seeing a lot of talent here from these teams. No surprise. Again, tonight is really going to be one of those signature games. Going to be a game of who's going to come up with the big play towards the end, whether it's with the batter in the field. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. 3-2 ball game. Men are in second and third. Nevada is threatening. Keep in mind, both these teams have not lost in the tournament. Levitt set at the belt. Next pitch going to be taken and just missing, a little bit low. Count goes to 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Next pitch, it's hit hard, but it right over to the left fielder. Makes the catch, so preventing the run from scoring. So after 2 in the books, it's a 3-2 ball game. You're watching the game of the week here at the Regency Athletic Complex Center at Metro State University. We'll be right back. Top half of the third inning, we're going to the top of the lineup. Alred grounds goes to third and gets the first out. Nice play here by Nevada. 1 pitch, 1 out. So Jagan Levin followed by Peyton Higgins in the lineup. In the cleanup spot, Nicholas Horsley. First pitch taken by Levitt for a strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-1. Quick start for both of these teams, and really the infield as well as the pitching settling down in the second inning. No runs by either team. And we're sitting at 3-2 here in the third inning. 5 hits here for Henderson and only 1, the home run by Utah. Count is 2 balls, 1 strike. A little bit wide. Count goes to 3-1. So Spencer, understandably, going to be a little bit careful here. You've got a very good hitting Utah team. Next pitch popped up. Catcher going to in the infield makes a nice catch. A little bit acrobatic there. It's now two down. Ball probably floating a little bit as the wind swirls here at the stadium, making it a very interesting catch here for the catcher for Henderson. 2 down. Next pitch hit sharply, knocked down by the shortstop, and it'll be a base hit. That was a one hopper that just could not get the glove on. So a 2-out single here by St. George. With the pop that we're seeing in these bats, you have to be very careful. We saw, obviously, the home run going over the 332 mark. And clearly, with the speed that's on the base pads, you hit one up the gap, and he could score from first. So it's a 2-out single. First pitch is waved at. It's now 0-1. Big swing. Teasing him on the inside corner. Count goes to 0-1. Next pitch is hit to left field. We'll see where that drops. It could be trouble. It is. It's going to be a base hit. It's going to turn potentially. No, they hold him up at first. And we have runners at first and third. So Flementaka is stepping to the plate for Utah. As we mentioned earlier, he's going to Dixie State next year. Opportunity here to add a little bit more, get a little more pad against a very good Nevada team. Utah with a 1-run lead, 3-2. 3 hits now for the away team, St. George. 5 hits. Attempt to pick him off at first. Close. You hear the crowd and their reaction to it. And 5 hits for Henderson. One ball, 1 strike. Next pitch is popped up. Third baseman going to take a few steps, will make the catch for the final out. So a very good inning, some good pitching and good fielding. And after 2.5 in the books, it's 3-2 St. George. You're watching the Game of the Week here on Radioactive 24/7 from Denver. We'll be right back. Bottom half of the third inning, 3-2 ball game. Leading off here for Henderson, Nevada, it is the shortstop Ryan Nelson, followed by Jack Thomas Wold, and then it's Jesse Fontaineboa. Count evens at 1-1. We're seeing really why these teams have gotten here, and really some wonderful plays in the infield. The shortstop for both teams doing a fine job of really stopping rallies. I mean, some great plays at shortstop and really getting people by a step, because there's some very fast runners here for both teams. 1-2 pitch on the way, knocked down by the catcher. Starting to sound like a broken record here for the St. George catcher, doing a good job. Ian Erickson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fouled away. Count still remains 2-2. You get at this level, you know, we've seen a lot of high school baseball and called a lot. But as we heard earlier with TJ Frasco, this is the World Series, if you will, of high school baseball. So strategy really starts coming into play, because a lot of these guys either are heading to college or maybe have had 1 year of college baseball experience. And what we saw with San Mateo last year and Hawaii in 2015. Popped up, first baseman ranging over in foul territory, and he makes the catch right up against the fence. So there's 1 down. Thomas Wold going to step to the plate. Second time around here in the lineup for him. And we have the designated hitter, Jesse Fontaineboa. First pitch going to be a little bit wide, 1-0. Don't have the pitch counts yet. We'll give them to you a little bit later on. But this game is going by a lot faster than what we've seen in earlier games here, not only today, but in the first 2 days of the tournament. Again, when you see teams that are putting up 30 runs, 28, 25-year runs, and even up to 15 and 16 runs, obviously in the hot sun, sometimes it gets to be a long day. 2-0 pitch is going to be wide, going to 3-0. So Wold most likely will be taking. 3-2 ball game, bottom half of the third inning. Good to have you along. Pitch taken for a strike in the outside corner, and it's now 3-1. Count evens at 3-2 on the foul ball. Wold saw basically a letter high fastball, not able to get a hold of it. We'll see what kind of strategy and placement. There's the curveball, hit down the right field line, foul. Another hack at it at 3-2 coming. So Mike Wagner behind the plate doing a fine job tonight. Sits on the committee for Cal. Been an umpire for a number of years. 3-2 pitch on the way. Fouled away again. And we got a little bit of a battle here, don't we, Cam?
Yep, it's actually it's a great game so far. Both teams are just putting up a great game and great effort, and yeah, hopefully this game just stays like this the whole entire time.
So difference what we're seeing so far in this game. I mean, I can guess, but I'm going to see. I know you helped coach a little bit. Next pitch popped up. Coming over is the shortstop and the third baseman. Going to be the shortstop reaching back and making a very good catch. Again, the wind is swirling. There's 2 down. But the execution level a lot different in this game, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah, fielding-wise, I mean, we haven't seen quite maybe the level that we've seen in other games. We've seen some good fielding, but not quite like what we're seeing here this evening.
Yep, most definitely. Yep. Definitely in this game from both teams, actually. You're seeing a lot of, like the shortstop, for example, for both teams are actually making really good plays at first base and everything. So,
yeah, even though there's 2 errors by Henderson, we're seeing initially they started out the first baseman making, an error, just came up too fast. but really pretty much error-free, and it's real clean fielding, very quick. A lot of the development, you can see the size of these players dropping it in for a strike as Levitt's now 0-2. But clearly a lot more development in these two teams. You can see why they're 2-0. Next pitch waved at, gets him on the outside corner. That one could have been a ball, but there's a strikeout. So after 3 in the books, score still remains 3-2. It's St. George on top. Good to have you along at the Regency Athletic Complex Center at Metro State University. It is the game of the week. You can watch a rebroadcast of this on Radioactive as soon as we post it after the ball game. St. George to lead it off here in the top half of the 4th inning, going a lot faster. Weston Sampson fouling it off. Count goes to 0-1. Mike Ray, Warren Ray, Cam Gibson bringing it to you. Region 8 tournament. There are 8 region tournaments going on. We'll tell you more about that currently, with each winner wanting to go to Shelby. That's the idea. Basically, it's a free ride for the winners to the World Series and a lot of exposure on ESPN. Next pitch going to be taken for a strike. Wagner calls it on the outside corner. Count goes to 1-2. That's quite an event. We heard literally 100,000 people or more show up at that event. Took a little bit off, strikes him out. So there's one down. You can see pitchers are really starting to settle down here. So Shane Spencer taking it off, getting him to wave at it, and there's one down. But what an event that is for the World Series for a number of these players. Keep in mind, this is a World Series that started in 1926 in Yonkers, New York. Next pitch is fouled away. Count goes to 0-1 down the left field line. 1926 is when the World Series for American Legion Baseball. It's been going on that long. The league actually started the year previous in 1925. And what a history it has been. I can honestly say my own family, I'll tell you more about that. Next pitch is whacked to center field, ranging over before the track makes the catch for the out. But having family members that have played American Legion in the 30s, you heard it correctly. My own dad flew a B-17 in World War II, got a chance to be a part of this history of American Legion. So there's 2 down. First pitch literally just painted the black. That's pinpoint pitching. Spencer really starting to settle in now, getting into a rhythm. It's 0-1. This is where it's going to get interesting because pitchers are really starting to feel it, as they say. The ball is working. You can see as far as the spin. There's the high chopper to the second baseman. Comes up firing, gets him in time. So very quickly, a 1-2-3 inning after 3.5 in the books. 3-2, St. George. Bottom half of the fourth inning, good to have you along. Next pitch is spanked. It's going to be at least a base. It should be. And Henderson is on. So Jerry Smith followed by David Huddleston here for Nevada in the bottom of the fourth. 3-2 ball game. Good to have you along. After that first inning, both the fielders and the pitchers really settling into this one. And this is really becoming really a pleasure to watch. First pitch taken for a ball. And it's now 1-0. One ball, no strikes, 3-2 ball game. Going to get an interview in here momentarily. We have an organization we want to tell you about. Two balls, no strikes. Man on first. Henderson trying to, and it's spanked. Let's see if it gets over the fielder's head. Oh, nice play by the warning track for the first out. We forget, after following some of the games that we've seen so far in this game, that might have gone over some outfielders' heads. But the level of play, really just taking about 4 or 5 steps and making the catch for the first out, it's really a pleasure. We're going to get an interview here momentarily with the group that we really want to let you know about a program here for youth that we're proud to tell you about. One out, man on first. Levitt delivers, going to be a little bit high. Count goes to 1-0. So we are seeing some very crisp play in the infield because they're battling the winds that are swirling here this evening. So they're making it some challenging catches. Really entertaining here for the crowd this evening. Keep in mind, both these two teams are undefeated. And you can see why. We keep repeating ourselves. Sounds like a broken record. But one of these teams, if not both of them, could be in the finals. Next pitch, it's hit deep. It's going to go down the left field line. If it's fair, it may be out of here. And it looks like it did hit the wall, rounding to second. So you have runners at second and third. Still one out. So spanking it off the wall. And the beat goes on for Henderson. So Nicholas Thompson, number 9 in the lineup. You look at David Huddleston, you think, as we mentioned earlier, in Texas, I mean, you see these players that come in at 7, 8, and 9, you think, okay, that's not really their top hitters. But then you see guys hitting balls off the wall, hitting home runs, and that tells you, again, I'll just keep reiterating, the talent. And it doesn't matter where it's in the lineup. You got to be careful if you're out there pitching on the mound in this tournament. So there's one down, runners at second and third. Top of the lineup, dropping a curveball, and it's 0-1. So Thompson followed by Howard Bobo and potentially Riley. 7 hits in the ball game now for Henderson. Levitt delivers, fouled away. Count goes quickly to 0-2. So what we're going to do in just a moment, we're going to have a quick interview. We want to meet some of the coaches and some of the organizers and then talk to some of the players. So thanks for joining us in the booth, and we're going to hand that headset off to the coach. We'll start with the coach first, and we'll get to you momentarily. 2 men on, 2 strikes, high pitch. Looked like he couldn't get on top of that one. Count goes to 1-2, trying to snap either a curveball or a slider. So Levitt having a little trouble there on that last pitch. Comes right back, ball hit to right field. Right fielder ranging back. This should score a run. 1 run will score, ties the ball game up on the fly ball to right field. Fundamental baseball coming through with 2 outs for Henderson. It's all knotted up at 3. So Howard Bobo, the right fielder, going to step to the plate. Henderson would love to get a base hit here and take the lead early in this game. We're in the 4th inning. Drops one in for a strike is Levitt at the knees, and it's 0-1. So in the booth, and you're going to have to help me here.
Yes,
I'm assuming you're the coach, right?
Yes, sir.
And what's your name? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Coach Chet Williams. I'm one of the coaches for the Metro All-Star team here that we had. And then my AD, of course, is Coach Andreas Sandoval.
Very good. Welcome to the booth.
Thank you, sir.
Final play here on a ground ball. St. George going the easy way across the diamond, and that's it. But one run is in, and it's all tied up here at the Region 8 tournament here at the Regency Athletic Complex. And we're just going to keep it right here and get a chance to visit with you guys. So, Coach, tell me about the league and what you're doing here with the Metro All-Stars. Sounds like a really good organization and what you're doing with the kids around here.
It is. You know, we were fortunate enough this year or in this season to have a really young team that we were able to develop. It was a little rocky in the beginning of the season.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that transition of continuous playing, we were able to play in 2 leagues. So we played with the Legion League.
Okay.
And we also played by the RBI League, which, of course, you know, is sponsored by the Rockies. You know what I mean? So with combining that much baseball, we probably played about a total of about 30 to 34 games within that summer span from like May to July.
That's got to be a great learning experience because you're getting 2 very good leagues.
Yes, sir.
And you guys are seeing probably a lot of different levels of quality play. So I imagine I'm going to talk to you guys in a minute and find out what, you know, how it went for you this summer. But tell me, what's the emphasis of the Metro All-Stars as far as getting them in there? What kind of things do you do with them?
A lot of it, what we're trying to do is introduce baseball into, you know, the more of the inner city again a little bit. You know what I mean? Kind of bringing that passion back a little bit.
Yeah.
And with having such a good coaching staff, we're able to develop them at different levels. So, you know, with myself, I focused on outfield. That's my background.
Very good.
I got to play a little bit in college, a little bit in high school, and so forth. We have a couple other coaches. Pitching coach. We were able to get a pitching coach this year.
Nice.
So it was like one of our first years where we actually had a pitching coach that really went to college. He pitched, you know what I mean? So it was really great. So our pitchers really spent some time, really got the chance to develop. I have a young player here, Mr. Ethan.
Yeah.
He came up and I seen his game come from really a slow pitching to a really fast, to where he was actually competing at the level that we were playing at with the Legion B, you know what I mean?
That's
great. They wouldn't be able to catch up with his ball. So it was really nice to have a good coaching staff this year. So you can see that how having the numbers of coaches does help a program.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Stay with me, Coach. I want to ask you some more.
Okay.
So we are in the top half of the 5th inning. We're here at the Regency Athletic Complex here in Denver. You're seeing it, Danny. It is all knotted up here between St. George and Nevada. Hits-wise, for Henderson, there's 7 hits on the evening, 3 runs. Next pitch is slapped down the left field line foul. Count remains at 3-2. For St. George, it's 3 hits and 3 runs. And up to the plate for St. George, trying to get it going here, is the 9th hitter, Michael Lacey, followed by Trey Allered, and then the pitcher, Jagan Levitt. 3-2 pitch, high chopper, right back to the pitcher. Gets the easy out, and there's 1 down. So the second baseman, Trey Allered, getting up, going to take his whacks at the ball. So, Coach, you know, obviously you bring a bunch of players in here.
Yes, sir.
What's it been like coming to this tournament and seeing the level of play here in American Legion?
Well, you know, it's been really nice, you know, especially for my players. I've been having them really watch the effort when they're coming off the field. You know what I mean? As coaches, you know what I mean, we have this countdown mechanisms like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and with that, I'm pushing them to get off the field.
Sure.
And I'm saying, you know what? If you're watching this level of play, I shouldn't have to have that countdown mechanism for my players, right? You should be ready to get off the field And so you're supporting because you've already supported your pitcher, first of all. Now you're ready to, hey, let's bang this ball out here.
There you
You know what I mean? Our pitcher was awesome.
Yeah.
Now let's show our bats. You know what I mean? So I shouldn't have to have that count mechanism. So that's something that they're noticing, that the hustle.
A lot of good lessons being learned.
Yes, sir.
Allard grounds out. There's 2 down. And it's going to be the pitcher, Jagan Leffett, stepping to the plate. Next pitch, bang to center field. Center fielder makes 2 steps, and he makes the catch for the final out. So it's a 1-2-3 inning. And after 4.5 in the books, it's still tied at 3 and through. We're just going to keep it right here and continue. So, Coach, age level of these players here this evening.
Right now, I have my youngest player. I think Ethan is 13.
Okay.
12 to
Welcome.
12.
Nice to meet you, Ethan.
And then I
Yeah.
have a medium player here. Let's see, Octavio is freshman.
Okay.
Then I have a little bit more advanced player here. He's my sophomore player here.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So he's just, everybody's kind of just moving up. You know what
Sure.
I mean? So the cool thing about that is I got to work with an 8th grader that'll soon be transitioning into our high school level.
Very
so now
good.
he's getting to understand how competitive the high school level is, and the expectation of high school. You
Sure.
know? I think we had to get him to where he understands, like, oh, coaches don't pick up equipment.
Right.
Players pick up equipment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Players take care of the field. You know what I mean? The field is for you, not for me.
This is not home and mom's cleaning
exactly.
up, right?
exactly,
Yeah, I got you.
sir.
Pick it up.
So
Yeah.
he got to, I can see him slowly transition into that maturity level. It was like, yep, now I don't even have to ask. It's boom, boom, boom. Field's cleaned up. Let's go.
I understand.
So it's really nice.
Well, Coach, I'm going to if you wouldn't mind handing the headset, we're just going to go down. We'll come back
Sounds
to
good.
you.
Here
And
we
we're
go.
going to talk to this player. We'll let you introduce yourself. And again, welcome to our booth. So go ahead and tell me your name.
I'm Octavio Gomez.
Nice to meet you, Octavio. And then, so what position do you play? We'll start there.
I play center. I also play second and shortstop for the team.
Okay, so you got a lot of play in. How'd you do? We'll start off for you personally. How'd you do?
Well, personally, I think I did good.
Good.
Good,
Okay.
yeah.
Great. Hit the ball quite a bit?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. What is it that you enjoy about playing baseball and playing in this league, and mainly hanging out with coaches like we have here from the Metro All-Stars?
Well, what I like about this league is that it's a little bit more like, in the beginning, it's a little bit more calmed down, like slower paced. But then it's like starts getting more competitive.
Sure.
And it starts getting like more exciting and better. And then with my coaches here, they're like, they make the sport fun. Like
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining, just listening to your coach here, probably they're very patient and they're good teachers and they work with you and you don't get yelled at.
Yeah.
You think about upper level baseball and it gets pretty intense. Hang on to the thought. So it's Henderson now with a man on second. We're in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Good to have you along on the game of the week. Radioactive 24/7 Sports, 3-3 tie. So Wald going to step to the plate. Opportunity here with 1 out. Runner on second. Henderson was the last team to score back in the 4th inning. And tying this one up. Really fireworks starting early in the 1st inning and really has settled down since then. First pitch taken, it's going to be wide and outside. Count goes to 1-0. So Levitt really going to be careful here. Does not want to give up a base hit. Speed is way too good on the base pads here for Henderson. Could score him easily. Just missing outside, probably a few inches. Count goes to 2-0. Mike Wagner behind the plate. Tim Higgins and Darren Duncan and Leo Curiel. These are some of the better umpires that you will see. Several of them do ump for some of the local college teams here in the area. Next pitch going to be low. Count goes to 3-0. So having to be a little bit careful here is Levitt. Does not want to give up a cheap one. 3 balls, no strike, most likely taking on this. Next pitch and he walks him. At the level of baseball here, you would think that they would get the green light even on 3-0 because these players have such good bat control, could push one down the line and potentially score the runner at second. So for Henderson, it's going to be Jesse Fontaboa with one out, men on first and second. Another great opportunity here. Drops one in with a curveball for a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1. We're going to get back to the interview momentarily. Want to find out more about this league, and I really am impressed with not only the ability of the players, but the coaches and how patient they are and the number of committed coaches to help these players really develop. No balls, one strike, one out, 2 men on, 3-3 tie. Henderson against St. George. Blocked well. You can see the shift of the catcher moving very quickly, preventing any advancement. Count goes to 1-1. This is the night game here at Metro State University. 3 games to go after tonight. Keeping it low, understandably. Count goes to 2-1 as he knocks it down in the turf. Looking for the force play, trying to get the double play is St. George. Want to get out of here with no damage done. Pitchers have been very efficient here tonight. A lot of the help, of course, coming from their infields, doing a great job in outfield. 2-1 pitch on the way. There goes the runner, hit and run. It's going to drop, potentially. It does. Making an attempt to try to catch that as a center fielder, but not able to come up with it. Bases are loaded. So Giles now with 1 ball, 1 out, bases are loaded. Great opportunity. Fly ball will give Henderson the lead. You figure a single, and it could be a 2-run pad. We'll see how Levitt handles this. Got his hands full in a jam here. Bottom half of the inning is going to be a sharp hit ball set up for the double play. There it is. And St. George getting out of the inning. So some great play. Good pitching by St. George, and it stays knotted up as we have completed 5 here from the Regency Athletic Complex. We'll get back to the interview here, find out a little bit more. So, again, really good opportunity that you've had this summer. What are your interpretations as you watch some of these players? Was this the first night that you've been here to the tournament to see this?
Yes, this is the first time I've seen.
So what are you impressed with as you see these players out here?
Well, just like the high competition that they're playing at, really fast-paced, like just more closer to.
They're very good at execution, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing that we notice. Obviously, the size is one thing, but really just the thinking part of the game. I mean, obviously they're very well developed. That we've seen teams that haven't done so well. I mean, big guys, real strong, can hit the ball, can throw hard, but the difference has been the execution, and I want to say the mental part. So maybe that would be a lesson here for some of you guys.
Yeah.
Just learning the thinking part of the game. Well, thanks for coming in. Nice talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
And I hope you come back and visit with us here in the future.
Yeah.
All right. So we are visiting with some Metro All-Star players. We're going to pass the headset down if you want to talk to me. I promise I had my shots and I did have my shower today, okay? And I did eat, so I'm not crabby, okay? I just look crabby because I got a red nose, right? So who am I talking to here? What are the baseball players?
So my name is Ethan Zimmerman.
Hi, Ethan. So are you enjoying the game here tonight?
Yeah.
Was it pretty cool to be brought out in front of the crowd here and kind of recognized? What was that like for you?
It was something that I've never done before, so like physically been recognized in front of an older crowd and team.
Okay. So. Kind of different here. Do you feel kind of famous? A little bit, maybe? No?
A little bit.
Can I get your autograph? No, I'm joking with you. Okay, all right. So you're an 8th grader, is that correct?
Yes.
I just think mentally like an 8th grader, so put up with me, okay? Really more like a 6th grader, okay? So put up with me, all right?
Okay.
Cool. So, again, you've had a chance to play some great baseball. What you learned this summer?
Well, I learned how to, like, physically push off of the mound and a lot more about the physical part of pitching.
Hang on to that thought. There's a fly ball. It's going deep and to the track. And it's a long out here for St. George. So Peyton Higgins giving it a ride to left center, and it's a long out. So it's going to be Nicholas Horsley, and then it's the shortstop, Alec Flementakis. Spencer delivering a ball, and it's now 1-0. 3-3 ball game. Very well executed double play by St. George. Keep in mind, we had bases loaded, and Henderson not able to convert. Sitting in the driver's seat with one out, and St. George doing a tremendous job to keep themselves in this. Whacked, it's going to go at least a base hit. We'll see if it gets up the gap. Cutting it off quickly and getting it in, so holds them to a single. Flementak is going to step up, and then it's followed by Weston Sampson, the third baseman for St. George. So 1 man on, 1 out. St. George looking to try to stay out of the double play, get this rally going, get the lead back, whacks it down the left field line. That's going to go 2. We'll see if they wave him in. It's going to go corner, and they're going to hold him up at third, the runner, the lead runner, and Flementakis with a double. So first pitch swinging, ball on the inside, and Spencer pays the price. Men on second and third. So Sampson, the third baseman, number 6 in the lineup. And then it's the catcher, Reich Erickson. As I said, there are no slouch hitters in the lineup for both teams. No weak spots. Snap throw not in time from the catcher. Keeping them honest at third. Sometimes you catch them as they're going back to the bag and just getting back in time. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. 3-3 tie. St. George and Henderson, Nevada. Hit up the hole, base hit. 1 run will score. St. George goes on top, quickly getting it in. Nice throw from the left fielder, holds him to a run. So it's a 4-3 ball game. St. George on top. So Erickson wants to keep the party going here with 1 out. Men at the corners, fly ball will add another run. Potentially. Clearly Henderson would love to get out of this inning with a double play like we saw St. George do in the last inning. Crowd being treated to a very well executed game. First pitch going to be low and outside, goes to 1-0. So Spencer getting touched up here in the inning. 6 hits now for St. George. Spencer got to think a little bit about this. We'll see if they try some kind of hit and run to try to stay out of the double play. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Men at the corners. Spencer delivers coming up the line. They were going to try a suicide. If he could have gotten it down, the run would have scored, but it's fouled away and the count evens at 1-1. Good idea. You could see the bat just dipping just a little bit. Back to fundamental baseballs, right, gentlemen? Yeah. Yep. That's what you teach. I know that, Coach. Yeah. So the count evens at 1-1. Men still at the corners. St. George would love to try it again. We'll see if they try the same play. They don't. It's going to be a base hit. The run will score. So Spencer getting that up a little bit on the inside of the plate. and the base hit, and it's now a 5-3 ball game. So clearly, and the coach would agree with me on this, that this is coming down to fundamentals. I mean, you can see he just got it up and paid the price.
He probably thought he could pull that. I can redo that pitch.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, thinking, man, woulda, coulda, shoulda, as they say. Slow roller down the third base line, going to go foul. Count goes to 0-1. So Spencer now with men at first and second. 2 runs are in. 7 hits now for St. George. We're in the top half of the inning. Good to have you along. Region 8 Tournament Baseball. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to do both games starting at 3 and then 7. 0-1 pitch. Whacked down to the right field line. It's going to go for a base hit. And they will hold him up at third. So again, sounds like a repeat of what we saw, say, a minute ago, men at the corners. So rewind the tape, ladies and gentlemen. We'll do it all over again here in this inning. So Michael Lacey, the number 9 hitter, stepping to the plate. He's the right fielder. Pitch on the inside. Now it goes to 1-0. You can see the third base, the runner at third, creeping in case the ball gets away from the catcher. Wants to get that easy run. 1 ball, no strikes. Next pitch going to be inside. Count goes to 2-0. Crowd getting a little excited here for St. George. Two balls, no strikes. Delivers. Grounded into the turf. Count goes to 2-1. So a lot of these players really getting a chance to hear some great stories from the veterans in the banquet. Also learning maybe some life lessons from the experience of the speakers, including Rick Herrig, who was a coach for 30 years and now working for the St. Louis Cardinals. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 runs are in. Spencer delivers. They're looking to do the suicide again. Gets past the catcher. We'll see if there's a tip. And it looks like it did not tip off the bat. We'll see if they officially, there's a discussion going on with Mike Wagner. Runners advance. We're at second and third. Let's see, do they give him the run? So you can see Mike Wagner, the umpire, talking with the coach here from Henderson. We're not sure initially. Lacey, we're not sure if it tipped his bat. We think they're going to give him the run, but we'll make sure. Right now on the scoreboard, it says 6-3. They've added the run. Two balls, 1 strike. Men at second and third. 6-3 ball game. Spencer, you can see the dance going on at third. It's cued away foul. Count still remains at 2-2. So Reich Erickson, the catcher, dancing at third. Trying to get some kind of a lead here. Spencer delivers, waved at for a strike, and he strikes him out. So a big out here by Spencer. It's 2 down. Trey Allred stepping to the plate. Leadoff hitter here for St. George. Spencer delivers, waved out. You could see his head coming out just a little bit there. There you go. We've got a coach in here. I love it. Count goes to 0-1. 6-3 ball game. Next pitch fouled away. Count goes to 0-2. We're going to get back to that interview momentarily, gentlemen. 2 outs, 2 men on. 3 runs are in. St. George cruising now. Spencer delivers. Strikes him out on the outside corner, painting the black. So after 5.5 in the books, it's a 6-3 ball game. St. George retakes the lead. You're watching the game of the week here from the Regency Athletic Complex Center at Metro State University. We're just going to keep it right here. And we're going to get back to this interview and find out a little bit more. So, okay, what did you think of that inning? What'd you learn there?
Well, I felt that they were hitting it into places where the defense couldn't get to immediately. So.
What do you think the level of the fielding? Pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm amazed at how fast these guys are. And again, I'll get back to thinking. We're seeing them throwing behind and thinking ahead. And what do they call that? Situational baseball, Coach? There it is. So great talking to you. We're going to go ahead and hand off. Enjoy the game, and hopefully maybe we'll see you on this field one of these days, okay?
Okay.
Come by and say hello to us, all right?
Okay.
Okay, we're going to hand off to the next player, and then we'll get back to the coach and call it a night. So as we exchange here, and sir, what is your name?
My name is Travion Perry.
Okay, Trey, what do you think so far of this tournament?
So far, I think it's pretty good. Like, you got good teams coming out, showing their skill, and then you got people who can learn from what's going on, like, while they're still in the game, because there's always something to learn from. So,
you know, I got to say, you got some pipes there, buddy. You ever thought about doing some announcing?
Sometimes,
You need to talk to this guy. You guys kind of sound similar, I was going to say. Yeah, you got some pipes there. That's great. How old are you?
I'm 16.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. I think we got another announcer here besides a ball player. So when you're done playing baseball, you can come sit in the booth with us. How's that? All right.
Sounds fun.
All right. So how do you like the Metro All-Stars? What have you been learning this summer? I see you got a little dirt on there. You must have been playing a little dirty today. How did that go for you?
Yeah, it was good. So that game, like, I learned and I bettered. Like, I got better, like, my bat speed got better. So that day I went 4 for 4.
Wow.
And, it was pretty much, like, just learning while playing at the same time, you know, learn from every mistake you make during the plays and just forget about it and move on.
There you go. Short memory, as they say.
Yeah.
Hang with me. I want to ask you some more, okay?
Okay.
Stick with me. So we'll get back to that interview with Travion. Did I say your name right? Got it. Okay. I'm a little slow, so bear with me. So we're in the bottom half of the inning. Good to have you along. You can hear the wind whipping up here. And this will make it very interesting here for the infielders and outfielders with the ball swirling. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nevada stepping up to the plate, trying to get back into this one, down by 3 runs. Beginning by St. George in the last inning in the top half of the inning. 3-1 pitch on the way. It's whacked. And this is where it's going to get interesting. You can see the shortstop fading over, and he makes the catch for the out. So David Henderson followed by Nicholas Thompson. 1 down, and so far it looked like Jagan Levitt there was really walking the tightrope earlier in the ball game, starting to settle down. And when you got an infield making double plays behind you, when you have bases loaded, not a bad way to go. Really extends that confidence level, and you can try things that maybe you wouldn't try when you're walking that tightrope. 1 ball, no strikes. Next pitch going to be inside. Count goes to 2-0. Working a lot more quicker here is Levitt. This pitch hitting the outside corner, painting the black, 2-1. Levitt delivers, goes to the same place. It's going to be a fly ball to right field. Ranges over about 10 steps, makes the catch for the 2nd out. So you got to love it. Here, if you're coaching here for St. George, your pitchers settle down, getting easy outs with that fly ball. 2 down. First pitch taken at the knees for a strike, and it's 0-1. After this warm day, we love having this swirling wind, at least for us. I'm not so sure the same for the players. Next pitch cued foul. Count goes to 0-2. So at the moment, we don't want to jinx them. Of course, Jagan Levitt is breezing with 2 outs. Got a 3-run lead. Trying to get him to swing it, wasting a pitch. Count goes to 1-2. So it will be interesting to see who plays who tomorrow. Next pitch is a curveball, waves at it for a strike, and that will do it after the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning here for St. George. And after 6 in the books, it's a 6-3 ball game. You're watching the Game of the Week here on Radioactive 24/7 Sports here from Denver. We'll go back to Travion. I'll turn this way a little bit easier for me. So, okay, so now baseball. What do you think? Do you play other sports too, Travion?
I used to play football, but I had to stop that because of concussions.
Ooh,
so
okay.
I'm mainly just sticking with baseball.
So do you want to play beyond high school, or what would you like to do?
Yeah, my hope is to at least be able to go to the next level.
So playing a lot of baseball in the summer, I know I hear different philosophies about, okay, you see club baseball, for example, they'll play up to 70 games in one season. Is that a good thing? Do you like playing a lot more?
I feel like for me, honestly, yeah, the more I play, the better I get.
Okay.
Like if I play a lot and then I take a break, then I feel like I start to lose what I learned during that season.
Okay.
So as much as I can, I'll have my cousin hit me fly balls at the park or find friends and just go play and try to stay up with what we learned during the season.
They're going to love you in college, by the way, because they like off-season work. There's a coach right there, and he'll tell you for Metro State that off-season work really pays a difference. So that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Any thoughts here for the future? What do you see yourself doing? You're finishing out high school. Any thoughts about college and where you want to go?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% on where I want to go yet.
Sure.
But like I said, I want to get better and at least be able to play in the next level and possibly after I have my time, possibly coach and help coach. And
why do you want to coach? I'm curious.
Because where I grew up, it was a bunch of people didn't have those bigger brothers that they could look up to. Because my cousins who live in Texas right now, he's here in the summer and he wants to play sports just like me. I got him into sports. So he wants to try to do as much as he can with the sport and see how far he can go.
Does that help kids a lot being competitive like this in a ball playing baseball?
Yeah.
And if so, how does it help them?
Because it depends on how much they want it. For me, if you want it, you'll compete as much as you can to get better and to pretty much hard 90s, and then if you're on the outfield, just run to the ball as fast as you can and make up for your mistakes.
Awesome. Okay. We're talking with Trevian for Metro All-Stars. Very impressed by some of your answers. Work on this. I think you could actually be an announcer someday, and I think you'd be really good. I hope that we're hearing about you a lot more, not only in high school, but in college. We're looking forward to watching your career. Thanks for visiting with us here this evening.
Thank you.
I'm going to continue this interview. We'll finish up with you, Coach, momentarily.
Okay.
We're going to get back into the action here momentarily. We'll be right back with you, and we'll finish it out with you guys. Thanks for visiting with us. So we are in the top half of the inning. It is a 6-3 ball game. There are 2 outs. St. George trying to get something going here. Spencer still in. Next pitch is waved out, quickly going to 0-2. So Nicholas Horsley looking to try to get something going, and wow, that was very quick. So again, it's a 1-2-3 inning, and that will do it after 7.5 in the books. 6-3 ball game. We're going to finish it out here, Coach. So again, really impressed with these young men.
Thank you.
And really what I was kind of alluding to with Trevian is that sports can really turn a person around. It helps them You know, sometimes the theories in education is that sports doesn't help. I disagree.
Me too.
I think it builds character. I think it builds teamwork. I think it teaches kids or players, how to work together. I think it's very valuable. And let's face it, there's a lot of mechanics and different kinds of science that is applied, especially in baseball.
There is.
So again, thank you so much for taking time with these young men.
Thank you.
Anything you'd like to say about your program as we finish this out?
Well, I want to just kind of thank all of my individuals that were able to donate to our program this summer.
Okay.
If that's okay with you, Mike.
Of course. No,
Okay.
please. This is your platform.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
I would like to thank our barbershop. It's called Famous Fades and Tats. They're right off of South Sheridan in Florida.
Nice.
They were a big contributor to our program this season. You know what I mean? So I wanted to thank. And I've also, of course, the Williams family, my family, my wife. She was a big contributor to ours. And we also want to thank also Ethan's mother, Miss Jen. She was a very good contributor to our program this year. Just providing those essentials, water. That's important.
You know, that's huge, isn't it?
Some snacks here and there. You know what I mean? So those were great people that I was fortunate enough to meet this summer, and they felt strongly about what we were doing for our program, Mike, and so they were able to help us out with a little monetary value, and also, of course, the other things that they needed.
So speaking of that, if they want to contribute to you, how do they get a hold of you?
We are right now. They can get a hold of me just by my email. My personal email, Chet_Williams1@AOL.com. I know I'm still AOL guy.
That's all right. That's all right. It works, right?
And that's the best way to get in touch with me. Of course, also my AD, Andreas Sandoval.
Very good.
He's Andreas Sandoval _at DPS K12. .org, you know what I mean?
Good.
So those are two ways to get in touch with us.
Okay.
And we were fortunate enough to get a good, diverse group this year. You know what I mean? Very talented coaches this year. You know what I mean? So our program really took off faster, and I think what my AD and we kind of projected in the beginning of the season. You know what I mean? And for us to be invited to the Legion Ball and play Legion, and then the tournament itself, and see my players come out and shine.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was like a proud father out there. You know what I mean? It was awesome to see my youngest player, my most inexperienced player from the beginning, getting out there, catching the ball, hitting the ball,
Isn't that fun?
Executing exact plays. You know what I mean? That were very tough for my player in the beginning of the season. So
very good.
It was great to see that. You know what I mean?
Well, Metro All-Stars making a difference in not only players' ability, but players' lives. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in here and visiting here this evening.
Thank you again,
Hopefully we'll see you in the future, all right?
That's the plan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
All right, good to see you, sir.
For having us.
Keep that strong grip going. Nice to meet you, sir. Thanks, Trevian. I hope we see you sometime soon. Okay, so it's been the Metro All-Stars coming on in and really letting us know about this great program that's really helping and benefiting youth here in Colorado. 6-3 ball game, bottom half of the 7th inning. Yes, I can still do math barely. Nevada trying to get back into this, down by 3. Levitt on the mound. Good performance here this evening. You look at all the zeros on the board since that first inning, doing a fine job. Man on first, 1 out. 2 strikes, Levitt looking to try to finish this one out. Next pitch is wide. Here comes the throw. Oh, nice. Going to get him at first, and they get and he drops the ball. I want to say Reich Erickson made a terrific play behind the plate because he was running almost like a second baseman or a shortstop. You thought the ball was going to get by him, and before he could get his feet set, made the throw to second as the runner tried to advance, stopped the steal. They threw over to first. The first baseman not able to handle him, but they had him out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hits the batter. He wears it, so he will be awarded first, and we have men at first and second. So Wald's going to step to the plate. Opportunity here. This is a big one here in the 7th inning. We're going 9. This game is going by very quickly. Keep in mind we had a lightning delay that really delayed this game about 45 minutes. So this one's moving rather quickly. 2 men on, 1 out. First pitch is wide. Fans being entertained by a very well played game here this evening. Looking forward to tomorrow. Come on out to the ballpark. Starts at 3 o'clock. Some very good eats, some good brats, good hamburgers. I can personally attest to that. Bring your family out, good prices as well. And to get into the ballpark, only $6. 1 ball, no strike, 2 outs, or 1 out. Going to reset the count here on the signals. 1-0 pitch on the way. It's popped up. Catcher has a play. Getting close to the fence. Reaches back and just misses it. And you can see that's where the wind comes into play. It's always a tough catch anyways for catchers because the ball is spinning backwards, causing it to move forward towards the field. But the wind didn't help any, so the count still remains at 1-1. Infield going to play in, going to try to get the double play get the forced lead runner at third. St. George with a nice play earlier, getting the play at home and then getting him at first. Whacked to right field. Right fielder ranging over, makes the catch. The runners should advance. They do. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time. So men at the corners with 2 outs. So Jesse Fontaboa, designated hitter, going to take his turn here. Golden opportunity potentially. But we're seeing some good pitching here by Levitt. Again, starting to walk that tightrope, getting used to that spotlight, if you will. And he's getting out of a few jams here with some help from his friends. First pitch taken on the inside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Mike Ray, Warren Ray, Cam Gibson bringing it to you from the Region 8 tournament. Good to have you along. 3 games to go after tonight, and somebody's going to head to Shelby. Pitch out. Runner's not buying it. Count goes to 1-1. So as we alluded to, we've been given some reports about some of the talent on this field. Players going to CSI, going to Dixie State, going to Oregon. Hitting the inside corner for a strike. Count goes to 1-2. Very similar to some of the play that we see in the summer with teams like the Boulder Collegians out of Boulder, Colorado. Also the Greeley Grays up north in Greeley. And of course, Fort Collins has a team also made up of college all-stars. So a lot of good baseball going on here. And as we mentioned, region tournaments going on across the nation. Ready to feed Shelby coming up in a week. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There goes the runner. Gets him on the strikeout. So a huge pitch. Walking the tightrope once again is Levitt and St. George. And the score still remains at 6-3. So after 7 in the books, St. George maintaining that lead. We still have 2 to go. You're watching the game of the week here on Radioactive 24/7 Sports. We will take a timeout. Eighth inning here at Metropolitan State University, Region 8 tournament. St. George coming to the plate. They've got a 3-run pad. Give you some pitch counts here. Shane Spencer with 89 pitches. And Levitt, who really has done a good tightrope act, at 110 pitches for St. George. Next pitch is fouled away. Count goes to 2-2. So it's the shortstop, Alec Flementakis, followed by Weston Sampson, and then it's Reich Erickson. Fouled away, count still remains at 2-2. So a good battle. Shane Spencer having a good night also. You look at the pitch count, but you see the difference in the production of runs and hits. St. George, slow roller to the shortstop, going to barehand it, not in time. So it's a single for the leadoff hitter. So Sampson going to come to the plate. Nice try by the shortstop, just very speedy. Was the runner getting out of the blocks quickly? Spencer set at the belt, looking bunt, gets it down. Going to go the easy way to first. The runner advances. So there's one down. St. George going fundamental here. Trying to add another run here in the top half of the eighth inning. Good to have you along. So the catcher, Reich Erickson, stepping to the plate, very impressed with the way that he catches the game. Had the runner picked off, but the first baseman not able to draw it in, but a very good attempt by Reich to stop the runner from advancing initially. First pitch taken for strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-1. Erickson, very quick. I would say, I'm guessing he's in the neighborhood of 5'7", maybe 5'8". But you can see built for speed and shows it when he's catching as well, knocking down balls. So man on second after the bunt to get him over. It's Erickson followed by Levine. A 1 pitch on the way, whacked. Shortstop got the play, going to go across the mound, gets the out. So there's 2 down. Runner advances to third. So Landon Levine going to step to the plate. With 2 down, obviously it has to be a base hit. Hit up the middle. We'll see if the short. Yep, got an easy play, and that will do it. So Spencer with a good evening, or a good inning, I should say. And that will do it after 8.5 in the book. 6-3 ball game, St. George on top. You're watching the game of the week here from the Regency Athletic Complex Center. We will take a short timeout. Bottom half of the 8th inning is going to be Giles to get it started for Henderson, followed by Jerry Smith, and then it's David Huddleston. We have a change on the mound for St. George. Cooper Madison, the left-hander, coming in relief by a very good effort by Jagan Levitt. First pitch taken for a ball. It's 1-0. Pitch going to be low. Giles with a good eye, being patient. Going to be selective here and see if he can greet the new pitcher here with a base hit. Count very quickly goes to 3-0. Levitt going into the last inning had 110 pitches, really got to save him potentially for Sunday. 4 straight pitches and Giles walks. So Jerry Smith going to step to the plate. Huddleston next, waiting in the on-deck circle. So Madison coming in and throwing 4 straight wide ones. Clearly not the start that you want to get. You want to try to set the tone very quickly against a hungry team, and they're ready to get uncorked. You can feel it. 5 straight pitches, 5 straight balls. Count them 6. So 6 straight balls, 2 balls, no strikes here to Smith. Madison delivers a strike at the knees on the inside corner, and the drought is over at 2-1. So maybe a little attack of the nerves here by Madison. Delivers, hits the outside corner, settling in. Count evens up at 2-2. Clearly not the speed that Madison possesses that we saw in Levitt. Curveball going to be pushed to the right field. It's going to be a base hit. Just reached out and tapped it. So we have men at first and second. So Madison trying to really nip corners. Looks like he's trying to throw some kind of a slider or a curveball. Pays the price, hung that one. And now an opportunity here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. So David Huddleston, and it's Nicholas Thompson. Nobody out, 2 men on, bottom half of the 8th inning, 6-3 ball game, St. George. But Nevada threatening here. And really a nice at-bat that we just saw by Jerry Smith, just reaching out on the pitch on the corner and just pushing it to right field. 10 hits in the ball game here for Nevada, 9 hits for St. George. Madison delivers for a ball, and it's 1-0. So Cooper Madison coming in to a very hungry Nevada team. Very patient team as far as the hitting is concerned. Both teams are, really. Gets by the catcher for the first time tonight in Erickson, and the runners to advance. A rare miss by Erickson, and we'll see if that's going to be a costly one. 2 balls and no strikes, and they're going to have a quick huddle because Madison really is having trouble finding the mark here as he's come in relief. And the coach is going to come out and have a discussion. So men at second and third. I think it's more of attack of the nerves, really, more than anything else, but I could be wrong. These are advanced players, and they're used to being in this kind of spotlight, so we'll see if that's the case. So tomorrow, as we mentioned, game will start at 3 o'clock. One of these teams will be in that game. And the 7 o'clock game should be another very competitive ball game. Texas will advance. 4 teams eliminated already in this one. Keep in mind, 4 teams came into this tournament. Actually, check that. 8 teams came into the tournament. 2 balls, no strikes. Madison set. Drops one in for a strike, much needed. Evens it up at 2-2. Huddleston waiting. It's a 2 chopper or 2 bouncer, gets the out at first, and there's 1 down, holds the runner at third. So there's 1 down, men on second and third. Madison delivers, missing, and it's 1-0. Really has not started any of the batters in this inning with a strike. It's all been walks. In fact, when he came in relief, 6 straight balls before he got his first strike. Next pitch going to be high and wide, count going to 2-0. So it's Nicholas Thompson and potentially Howard Bobo. Madison going with a curveball, missing again on the outside corner, now going to 3-0. So really, if he walks him here, that's not really a great catastrophe. That just allows the force at home, and going for the double play, he does walk him with the low pitch. So the bases are loaded with 1 out, and clearly St. George looking to pull the rabbit out of the hat like they did before, looking for a double play with the force starting at home. But clearly Madison needs to keep this ball down, and here's another walk to the mound. This may be it for him. Short leash here, potentially for Madison. Yep, taking the ball from him, so there will be a break in the action. We'll see who comes in. You can't blame St. George. They don't want this one to get away with bases loaded. Clearly a base hit will score 1, if not 2 runs. A double could tie this game up. So we are guessing it might be Michael Lacey coming in to pitch. We'll find out momentarily. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Michael Lacey, who is playing left field. They hand him the ball, so he'll get his warm-up pitches. So it's a 6-3 ball game, and really we'll give you a rundown of when the scores happened in the first inning. Both teams came out firing. It was St. George getting 3 runs and 2 runs for Henderson in the first inning. Then you saw the Golden Goose Eggs for about a couple of innings. And in the 4th inning, it was Henderson getting a run and tying it up, making this game very interesting at 3-3. Then you see the seesaw, and back up in the, I want to say 6th inning, it was St. George igniting, getting 3 runs in that inning. And that's where we sit at 6-3. But there are 3 men on here for Henderson, and there's 1 out. Madison really having trouble just finding the zone. So it's going to be Michael Lacey stepping in to try to stop the damage here and not allow any more runs to score. So Howard Bobo stepping to the plate. First pitch is low for a ball, and it's 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. This pitch going to be low. That's 2 straight balls. So Lacey coming in a tight situation, needing strikes quickly. There it is, missing wide, and it's now 3-0. So you could see really short arming that pitch was Lacey. Ball goes wide and low. Bobo looking to take a strike here. There it is, and missing on the inside, and he walks him, and a run will score. So it's now 6-4. So Riley going to step to the plate. This could get interesting if he gets a base hit here. Henderson down by 2 runs. Potentially this could be tied up with 1 swing of the bat, meaning just a single, extra bases, and they take the lead. First pitch taken for a strike on the inside corner. Lacey going to have to settle those nerves very quickly here with 1 out. Curveball missing high. Count goes to 1-1. You can hear the crowd really rabid here for Henderson. One ball, 1 strike, bases loaded, 1 out. 1 run is in on the walk. Missing a little bit low on the inside corner. Count goes to 2-1. Lacey delivers. Going to be a high chopper to third baseman. Not going to get him at home. The run will score. And it's now a 6-5 ball game. So a good at bat. I mean, really just as good as a good bunt because of the high chopper. Third baseman had no choice because the runner at third got a very good chomp. So the run scores with 2 outs, and it's 6-5. Lacey, it's whacked to center field. Center fielder comes up, makes the catch, and preserves the lead for St. George. But 2 runs are in on 10 hits, and it's a 6-5 ball game with 8 complete in the books. You're watching the game of the week here from the Regency Athletic Complex Center here at Metro State University. We'll take a break. So coming in relief is Michael Lacey, who was in left field, having to walk that tightrope. 2 runs were in. Stepping to the plate, and really we're seeing some great baseball here this evening. 6-5 ball game. Looks a lot like what we saw with Nevada earlier, winning a 6-5 ball game. clearly this could be the championship game in a couple of days. We'll see how it all plays out. Obviously, Texas and Chico, California, have something to say about that. Next pitch fouled away, quickly going to 0-2, and the catcher taking one for the team. Taking it off the left hand. So Spencer's still in the ball game. Pitch count low enough to keep him here into the 9th inning. 6-5 ball game. And you really think of the rash of balls that were served up by Madison. Really just could not find the strike zone at 1.6 straight balls. And the party really began. One of the runs by being walked in from third on the bases loaded. Next pitch is popped up. First baseman coming over. Second baseman calling him off. Makes the catch. 1 out. Region 8 tournament here at the Regency Athletic Complex Center. Great night, great ballpark, great tournament. 2 games tomorrow, 1 game on Sunday. Come out and visit us. Spencer delivers fastball, fouled away. Count goes to 0-1. Mike and Warren Ray, also Cam Gibson, bringing it to you. Game sponsored by American Legion. Ball bounces off the catcher. Count evens at 1-1. So we'll see if Michael Lacey, if he returns back on the mound in the bottom half of the 9th inning and really gets control of those nerves. Lacey came in throwing a diet of balls to start off with, but then did settle down. Fouled away. We'll see if it lands on top of our heads here. It doesn't. Count goes to 1-2. Get the gloves out, Cam. Let's see if we can catch one here before the night's out. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. St. George trying to get something going here, get a little more pad. Nursing a 1-run lead. There's a high chopper over the pitcher's mound. And gets him on the tag. What a nice play by the first baseman, having to come out and reach wide. Gets the tag out, and there's 2 down. So Thomas Wold, if you think about it, in the first inning, was a little bit anxious on the play, bobbled it. That was the one error at the time, but makes a beautiful play, reaching out and tagging the runner as he races by. There's 2 down. Spencer delivers a strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. This is the 9th inning. Henderson has their bats in the bottom half. Next pitch swinging for the fences. Count goes to 0-2. So Jagan Levitt swings again and misses. 2 big swings. And he strikes out, and that will do it. So a good inning by Spencer, and we're going to go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. 6-5 lead. St. George on top. You're watching the Game of the Week here from Denver, Colorado. We'll be right back. Bottom half of the ninth inning, Thomas Wold going to step to the plate, the first baseman. Made a very nice play on the tag to get the runner for the second out, stepping to the plate. So Lacey delivers inside for a ball, and it's 1-0. You know, we don't have any official numbers on the league, but I would imagine Wold is one of those players you don't want to get one up on. He's got plenty of stature. He's got a big swing. Count goes to 2-0. Lacey from the windup delivers another ball outside, going to 3-0. So a similar start to what we saw with Madison in the last inning is Lacey. 3-0 pitch inside for a strike on the inside corner. Goes to 3-1. Next pitch is wide. And it's an opening walk here for Henderson, like what we saw in the last inning. So we have the designated hitter for Henderson, Jesse Fontaboa. It's only a one-run lead here by St. George. Very important. Want to finish this one out, looking for the double play. Clearly could be a walk-off here for Henderson. Really, the caliber of pitching once Levitt went out has really changed dramatically. Madison not able to finish the inning. 2 balls very quickly here to Fontaboa. So if you're the coach for St. George, you're wondering how long are you going to leave the leash before you yank it out there. 2 balls, no strikes. 3-0. Going to be another conference here on the mound between catcher and pitcher. Clearly, this could be a walk-off. We'll see how this plays out. Bottom half of the ninth inning. Good to have you along. Region 8 Tournament Baseball, American Legion Baseball. The culture and the tradition continues here. Friday Night Lights. Next pitch taken for a strike on the outside corner, goes to 3-1. So Lacey delivering. Next pitch is going to go inside, and he walks him. So 2 straight walks, and we'll see how much longer Lacey is in this ball game. Here comes the walk from the dugout, and that may do it very quickly. Keep in mind, both these teams were undefeated coming in. St. George coming out very quickly in the first inning with 3 runs. But you don't want to give this one away just because the pitchers are having trouble with their location. So, yep, here's the change coming into the ball game. Going to get his warm-up pitches will be, it looks like, Maitland Briggs for St. George. Right-handed pitcher. So understandably, not wasting any time here, is the coaching staff for St. George. He'll get his warm-up pitches. Really big moments sometimes can be character builders, and in this case, not saying that the character wasn't there, just not able to get into the rhythm, both in Lacey and Madison. Changing chemistry. You know, you think of the history of American Legion, as we were talking with Wally Weld during the break as we were waiting for the lightning to pass. You think of all the great moments, not only here in Colorado, but nationwide. And even currently today, we're going to mention some names that American Legion graduates are affecting the major leagues. Madison Bumgardner for San Francisco. Corey Seager having another Great year for the Los Angeles Dodgers, just to name a two. Had a chance to talk to a lot of coaches here at one of the big coaches' banquets. And it's fun to listen to them talk about not only their experiences, but where they played in high school and college, but their American Legion experience. And several of them talking about just wearing the patch. It's almost like a shield of honor that are sewn on all these jerseys. And they said there really clearly at times is a difference when you're in an American Legion baseball game, and especially in the tournament because of the culture that's behind and the history that's behind. So American Legion continuing strong here in 2017. If you'd like to find out more about American Legion baseball here in Colorado, just go to www.calb.org. So another change in the lineup here for St. George is going to be McLean Briggs. First pitch, fastball. You can clearly see the velocity a lot different here. Blazes one by. Giles takes it for a strike, and it's 0-1. So having not seen, there's a lot of pitchers on this roster here for St. George. Very important, you can see Giles squaring around. Pulls the curveball outside. Giles pulls it back, and it's now even at 1-1. 6-5 ball game, 2 men on, nobody out. Bottom half of the 9th inning. Henderson threatening. Giles looking bunt. Gets it down, goes down the third base line, just barely goes foul. Count goes to 1-2, and now he's going to have to swing for it. So a good idea here by Henderson, but not able to execute, trying to advance the runners with nobody out. You can see the chairman obviously really for Colorado American Legion Baseball, Daniel Reyes, very intently enjoying this ball game on the sidelines. Next pitch going to be high. Count evens at 2-2. St. George obviously looking to get the lead runner at third. Next pitch hit to right field. Racing back, reaches back, makes the catch. Runner will advance. There's one out. So men at the corners. Fly ball ties this game up. So Smith going to step to the plate. Golden opportunity to tie this one up. And Briggs coming in and doing a good job delivering the strikes. Gets the fly out. There's one down. Much needed. This is going to be a very important at-bats here for Smith. First pitch is inside. It's ball one. Infield clearly playing up. You can see the third baseman creeping up on the grass. It's funny to say that grass when you have a synthetic turf. We'll just say on the green. How's that? 2 balls, no strikes. Briggs set. There's the pitch hitting the outside corner with velocity. Count goes to 2-1. Clearly, you can see a huge difference. Not saying that the other two pitchers are terrible, but coming in and blazing and really challenging the batters is Briggs. 2 balls, 1 strike. The other one's going to be up the middle. Base hit. Run will score. And it's all knotted up. So a very good at-bat by Henderson. Very patient. It was a knee-high fastball. Takes it right up the middle, and we're all knotted up. So David Huddleston with a chance to walk one off here. With the speed that's on second, a base hit. cleanly placed, and this could be a ball game. Still 1 out. First pitch is going to be an excuse me. It's going to be a tough play at first. Fires, gets him for the 2nd out. Nice play by the 3rd baseman. So there's 2 outs. A little bit of drama here in the 9th inning. So the 9th hitter in Thompson stepping to the plate. Base hit in this ball game is 1. Briggs is set. Curveball misses on the outside. Don't want to give him anything easy here. And it's 1-0. So Briggs having trouble getting the curveball in, but the fastball clearly his most effective pitch so far in this game in relief. There it is, just missing. Good place to miss with some good hitters. Count goes to 2-0. Again, it's not a big deal if he misses here and he walks him, because then they have a force at home if need be. 2-0 pitch, taken for a strike. Count goes to 2-1. So for Briggs, really having to come in and make short work, getting the rhythm, you don't have a lot of time to get your curveball down. Missing on the inside. Count now goes to 3-1. He's not going to give him anything good here. Again, you can afford a walk here in the bottom half. But then that starts the rotation again for the number 1 hitter. Fouled away. Count now goes to full at 3-2. This reminds me a little bit of 2 teams that we've seen in the last 2 years in Boulder. In San Mateo, California, and also Hawaii. Very similar aggressiveness and, of course, the ability to execute. 3-2 pitch outside, and he walks him. Boy, you can see Erickson really protecting that ball, not going to let one get by him. He's only had 1 pass ball. So it's down to the designated hitter, Fountaboa. And this should be a very interesting at-bat. Yeah, this is one of those games that that you really enjoy. This is one of the fan favorite type of games. A little bit of drama, a lot of good play in the infield, good pitching, and big hits at the right time. First pitch is going to be inside. Fonteboa takes it for a ball, and it's now 1-0. You do not want to give up a walk here. That's inexcusable to lose the ball game. If you're going to lose it, you want to at least let him hit. Next pitch is going to be high inside. Count goes to 2-0. So the pressure now clearly is going to shift over to Briggs. Looks like he tried to pull a slider there. It was unsuccessful, or a changeup. Going to have to come in with a heater. There it is. It's the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. So clearly Henderson is taking a strike. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. 11 hits here now for Henderson with the hit advantage. Catches him with a strike on the outside corner, and it's now 2-2. Little extra pop in the mid on that one. We don't have a gun. It would be nice to see what kind of velocity is now being put out by Briggs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases are loaded. Keep in mind, more great baseball tomorrow coming out to the ballpark starting at 3 o'clock. Pitch on the inside, just missing. Thought he had him. A lot of the fans here for St. George thinking the same. But you're not going to change the umpire's mind. It's now full count. Runners will be going. Ground ball down the left field line, foul. Feels like a movie, doesn't it? Gosh, if he gets the home run, will there be fireworks in the sky? We'll see. Three balls, two strikes. Good battle between Briggs and Fonteboa, the designated hitter. Next pitch is going to be a fly ball. This should be an out. Both the center field and the left fielder converging and makes the catch. And what a great at-bat by Henderson. And it's going to be St. George winning the battle. We will go ahead and give you the final numbers before we call it a night. So Briggs coming in and doing a fine job. You could see really executing well. Could not get the curveball over. Did go to the hard slider, but really it was his fastball that made the difference. So 9 hits and 6 runs for St. George, and we're all knotted up. We're going to go extra, and it's 11 hits and 6 runs here for Henderson. We'll be right back. Going to extra innings here. Friday Night Lights, good to have you along. You're watching the game of the week here from the Regency Athletic Complex, Metro State University. St. George and Henderson, Nevada all knotted up. First pitch is hit foul down the right field line, and it's 0-1. So for St. George, it's Alec Flementakis, followed by Weston Sampson and Reich Erickson. This pitch fouled away quickly. Actually, check that. It's Peyton Higgins. Next pitch is wide. Count goes to 1-2. So Nicholas Thompson coming in relief hits the batters, so St. George has a man on. So it's Horsley going to step to the plate here for St. George. So Nick Thompson coming in for Henderson from his center field position. In relief in the 10th inning. First pitch is waved at for strike, and it's 0-1. Very similar to Briggs as far as the delivery style and the pace on the ball. Has a pretty good fastball, so it's 0-1. So Higgins standing on first after wearing the pitch. Base hit going to left field. St. George with a rally. Going to go to third. Going to challenge it. Here comes the throw. Not in time. So very heads up running by Peyton Higgins. Left fielder probably not thinking he was going to challenge him. He does. And we'll see if this pays off. Alec Flementakis, the shortstop, with an opportunity here to take the lead. Fly ball should get the job done. Men on first and third. First pitch taken for a strike on the outside corner. Wagner doing a good job here tonight behind the plate. Dropping one in for a curveball. Nicely done by Thompson. And very timely, and it's now even up at 1-1. 10 hits for St. George, 11 hits for Henderson. Thompson delivers, missing outside. Count goes to 1-2. One-two pitch fouled away, trying to go opposite field. Count still remains at 1-2. One ball, two strikes. Nobody out, men on first and third. I'll tell you what, this game will never bore you if you go back and watch this. There's a lot of great play here. Two balls, two strikes. It's going to be taken down. They're going to go and get the runner, and there's a rundown going on. And they'll get the out at third. Nice play. And they're going to hang up the runner from second. They'll get another out. So very heads-up play by Henderson. Not only getting the runner coming home, but then catching the runner at second off guard. So there's quickly two outs. So we'll see if this is a major play as far as the outcome of this game, because Henderson could walk off and win this and have another opportunity. Again, they had the chance here in the bottom half of the ninth inning. We're in the 10th inning. First pitch swung on and missed for a strike, and it's 0-1. So Weston Sampson, the third baseman, trying to move the runner over. St. George will kick themselves if he gets a base hit, especially with the runner getting picked off at second on the rundown. So Nick Thompson doing a good job, heads up play to go home on the throw to get the lead runner from third. And the third baseman catching the runner and getting the second out. So good coaching here, good fielding, and good thinking by Henderson. Conference on the mound. So we will see Texas back tomorrow in Chico, California. Scoreboard goes out and pops right back up again. Conference is over. We'll see. Now we've got one strike on the batter. Two outs. Next pitch is going to be high. Count evens at 1-1. So Sampson now If you can go opposite field, you can see they're playing over in center field. Big gap between center and right. Two balls, one strike. Thompson with the throw, not in time. Next pitch going to be low, count going to 3-1. So Thompson being a little bit careful here with Sampson. Infield backing him up, doing a good job here this evening for Henderson. Catches the inside corner for a strike, and it now goes to a full count, 3-2. So if you're just tuning in, there has been a lot of good fireworks as far as not only hitting. Next pitch waved at, and he gets the strikeout. So after 9.5 in the books, it is a 6-6 tie. You're watching Region 8 baseball here on Radioactive. Bottom half of the 10th inning, it is a tie ball game. St. George and Henderson all knotted up here. Henderson with the chance here, another opportunity to walk off and win this one. Had bases loaded, not able to do it in the 9th inning. Almost even in regards to hits and errors, and we're all knotted up at 6. Took a little bit off, missing, and goes to ball 2. Just missing on the inside, and it's now 3-0. So Riley looking at 3 wide ones. St. George in the last couple of innings having really problem getting the ball over the plate, and that's what's tied this ball game up and setting the table for Henderson. So Ryan Nelson now with nobody out, 1 man on, bottom half of the 10th inning. Another opportunity to try to win this one. Really almost like a playoff-like experience here tonight between these two teams. As we said a couple innings ago, this could be the championship game here in a couple of days. So Briggs in his 2nd inning of relief delivers, goes inside, misses, and the count goes to 1-0. Maybe just getting a little bit too careful is Briggs here. Trying to paint the corners. Next pitch outside. Gets the strike, goes the other side, and it's now 1-1. Briggs working quickly. There's the bunt, laying it down. Going to go to first base and gets him by a step. And there's one down. So the runner advances now standing on second. Keep in mind, courtesy of a walk. We'll see if that makes a difference in this ball game. So Eric Cruz coming in to do pinch hitting for Wold. 1 out. And you think about it, Briggs is really, he's been effective, but also ineffective. He's had trouble getting the strike zone, maybe being a little too careful, goes inside and misses for a ball, and it's now 1-0. His pattern has been to go inside and then go outside. We'll see if he tries to hit the outside corner. There it is, going outside corner, does exactly what he did with the last batter, and it's now 1-1. Healthy diet of fastballs. 1-1 delivery, same place. This time it's a lazy fly ball. Left fielder coming in, has a play. So there's 2 outs. Runner remains at second. St. George really with a nice set of running, but then also at the same time making mental errors earlier. Had an opportunity advancing to third, but then not only getting thrown out at home, but then the runner trying to advance to second in the last inning getting picked off. Briggs delivers, gets the strike going on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. So Fontaboa, who is the designated hitter of the ball game, looking at 1 for a strike. A little bit high, count goes to 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner on second. Henderson trying to walk off of this one. Next pitch is fouled away. Count goes to 1-2. Metro State University here on a Friday night. Good ball game, good crowd. Battle continues. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Next pitch is high, evens it up at 2-2. So game time almost at 3 hours in this one as we are in the bottom half of the 10th inning. Keep in mind we had the lightning delay earlier. Started at 7:45. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Next pitch is low, blocked nicely by Erickson. Count goes to full. Three-two pitch on the way, and he waves at it, and he strikes him out. So this time, Briggs, who's had trouble hitting that inside corner, paints the black effectively and gets the strikeout. So after 10 in the books, guess what? We're still knotted at 6. You're watching the game of the week. Here from the Regency Athletic Complex, the prize fight is on. We'll be right back. Extra innings here at the Regency Athletic Complex. You're seeing a dandy between St. George and Henderson. Still in relief as Nick Thompson delivers outside for a ball. And it's now 1-0. We saw a healthy diet of some relief coming in right around the 8th and 9th inning, both in Madison and Lacey. But it's Briggs that's come in and done a good job, bobbled, and it's going to be a base hit. So if you're a parent and you're either at this game or if you're watching or listening, pretty some anxious moments. Especially if your son is out pitching on the mound like McLean Briggs. We understand Reed Briggs is listening or watching this game. Reed, I understand you're probably very anxious for your son. My son also played baseball and seen some of these moments as well. So again, your son's doing a great job, and we want to do a shout out to Reed Briggs in St. George. So man on first on the bobble by the shortstop. Another opportunity here for St. George. Got to be careful on those base pads this time. Last time they got picked off twice. First pitch going to be outside, and it's now 1 ball and no strikes. So it's Toby Swenson stepping to the plate for St. George. Hit down. Oh, and nobody is there. It's going to be a base hit. You could see the shift. There goes the throw to third. Is he in time? They get him. Wow. You think about what we've seen here in the last inning by Henderson, and they've gunned out runners both at home and second and now at third. So some big-time plays here by Henderson, and there's 1 out. So Maitland Briggs, who's come in relief, stepping to the plate, takes a ball. It's wide, and it's 1-0. Going to be a conference between the third base coach and Briggs. 1 out. You can understand why St. George wants to take a chance. You know, sometimes you just got to take those moments. But it was a good play by Henderson to get the runner at third. So we're standing with 1 out and a man on third instead of at the corners. 11 hits for both teams. 6 runs for both teams. The difference is the errors. 1 ball, no strike. Looking to bunt is Briggs, fouls it away. Count goes to 1-1. So Thompson is set. Throw not in time at first. So Briggs stepping into really an interesting situation. Looking bunt, fouls it away again. It's now 1-2. Going to have to swing for it. But Briggs coming in, doing a good job in relief, and now trying to advance the runner here in the bottom, or actually the top of the 11th. One ball, 2 strikes. Waves at it, strikes him out. There's the throw to second. They could pick off the runner. Looks like another. They do. So you could see Erickson caught the runner, actually checked that it wasn't Erickson. It was Riley throwing from his knees on the strikeout, caught the runner, and really 2 great plays by Henderson, 2 innings in a row, and then getting the lead runner at second. So after 10.5 in the books, it's all knotted up at 6. Good to have you along on the Game of the Week. A dandy here from Colorado. We'll be right back. Bottom half of the 11th inning, good to have you along. The prize fight is on. The strategy is on, and both teams taking chances, but really St. George in the last 2 innings trying to be aggressive on the base paths, got their hand caught in the cookie jar, basically. So Briggs pitched a little bit wide, and you could see Giles ducking out of the way. Count goes to 1-0. So it's Garrett Giles, followed by Jerry Smith, and then it's David Huddleston. Next pitch taken for a strike of the outside corner. 1-1. Briggs outside, bounces to the end of the backstop, and it's now 2-1. So Briggs coming in a tight situation, getting St. George out of trouble. Next pitch is whacked. It's going to be a base hit into left field. So Giles open it up for Henderson. So Jerry Smith going to take a shot at it here with nobody out. Giles opening it up with a base hit. Third opportunity here for a walk-off here for Henderson. Looking bunt, pulls it back. It's a ball, and it's now 1-0. Going to be a conference between both Smith and the third base coach. So trying to move him over with nobody out. And there's 1 strike. Or actually 1 ball. Looking bunt again, gets it down. Briggs going to take it to first, gets the out, and the runner advances. So there's 1 down. So David Huddleston now, opportunity base hit, could finish this ball game off here in the 11th inning. 12 hits now for Henderson. 11 hits for St. George. Briggs delivers, popped up. Catcher moving back. We'll see if he has a play. Goes out of play. So the count goes to 0-1. Regency Athletic Center, good to have you along. $10.2 million complex here on the Metropolitan State University campus area, Auraria campus, beautiful area. Giles standing on second. Pitch is wide, knocked down by Erickson. Count goes to 1-1. Erickson delivers, going to be a lazy fly ball, going to go down the right field line, and it's going to go foul. Count goes to 1-2. So I really like what McLean Briggs is doing here. A good battle. There are times you can see ball getting away from him. Then he comes right back, hits the outside corner for strikes. So again, a good battler here this evening. Giles with not really a big healthy lead. Fly ball going to right field. Right fielder going to make a run for it, and it drops, and that's going to do it. They're going to wave him in. Not only is it a double, but that's the ball game. So a big hit going down the right field line, and Henderson wins the marathon. 7-6. Wow, what a great ball game. You can watch a rewind of this as much as you like on Radioactive 24/7 Sports. As soon as YouTube gets this loaded up, we will put it out on 2 locations for you. We'll put it on our Facebook site and also the Colorado American Legion baseball site. So we're going to give you some final numbers here on the evening before we call it a night. Henderson with 3 attempts. What do they say? So what do they say? 3 times and you're lucky, or 3 times a charm. So it's 13 hits and 7 runs for Henderson, and a very good effort by St. George with 11 hits and 6 runs. So both teams will advance tomorrow. We'll see them both. We're going to be here webcasting them live. We'll be here at 3 and 7. It's just a matter of when they place them in the bracket. You can go to www.calb.org to see which favorite team of yours is going to be playing, but you will see both of these teams. It'll either be against Chico, California, or it will be against Texas. So again, we're going to call it a night here from the Metropolitan State University campus, and we will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. You have yourself a pleasant good evening.